Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Friday night, and wasn't expecting to be doing this tonight, but we've got a practice race. So it's a pre-season race for PRF1, which is obviously the league I usually stream on Friday nights. What we're doing tonight, we're doing a practice, followed by a one-shot qualifying, followed by the usual 50% race. So hope any of you that do watch along with me enjoy it. Sharing the there we go, just shared it about a bit. Yeah, so as I say, this is more a test, but it will be leading into the race as well. So I'm here, obviously, I shan't be doing comms or streaming practice most weeks, but as a normal thing. But I've just decided that tonight, because I do it as a test on the new game, we'll stream the practice, followed by the qualifying, followed by the race. Get all of it. Just had a message asking me to stream another league. Right, okay, so just answered that. Let me know I'm already doing something. So we've got here then, spreads out on the hard side. Let's get some details up, shall we? Let's have a little look-see. Have they changed anything for a spectator mode, or is it all exactly the same? So Bacon Soda was out on medium, or actually may have been out on hard tires and sat in the pits on mediums at the moment. Anything else here? Different cameras, no, that's all the same. Telemetry just enable or disable. Enable or disable. Oh, it's all exactly the same. It's a little bit disappointing. I did see a picture of somebody with the tyre wearing stuff up, but forward with the driver maybe to get it. Ooh, Vice just invited me to a party. What's that all about? Hey Vice. Hey man, hang on. I mean, I need to mess about with the volume settings a second. It's
spectating screen is looking better.
It looks better, doesn't it? But there's no. I can't seem to find any new. Like.
Yeah, like the tire wear and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping. I did see something. I saw a picture from someone showing it, but on
I
another.
think that
Thing.
might have just been a few racing leagues, like really advanced ones. They
Yeah.
have their own, type of thing which allows that type of stuff to come up, and the last lap times pretty much like watching a real F1 race.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah, I know there's some. Ah, that sounds a bit quieter. That sounds better. Hope that's alright for anybody watching. Let me know if the sound's alright for you guys. Sorry, Ground Effect Racing League. GRL is commentated in saying GRL's clear, you know. They asked me to do another commentary tonight, and I've had to tell them sorry, I'm already doing something. So apologies to them. Yeah, I know there is like I know there's an app that you can have on your laptop that enables you to see wear and damage,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
sorts of things. You can see people's lap times, as in, you can see multiple lap times to see if they're basically doing roughly the same time each lap and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Just I don't trust my internet enough in a moment to use a laptop at the same time as streaming on the Xbox, so it's
Yeah.
hopefully it won't be too long. Hopefully, till I get fibre, and then should be all right with that. So.
Yeah. Whereas spinning out the final corner, I have to say, I'm really enjoying this new game, and Qatar is so nice and fast and flowing. Although I don't think it's going to be that good for overtaking. That's my only worry about the track, which I think also in 2020 would improve pretty much only on the DRS, so that was only overtakes which you saw. And
Yeah.
throughout the lap, it's the only time where you actually go to second gear. I think it's, I don't know the turn number, but there's only one corner where you go down to second gear. So yeah, it's quite an interesting one.
Okay, I must admit this is my first experience of the lap. I've not touched it, so yeah. But it looks pretty wide, the track, which usually lends to overtaking. One thing I will say, when Jeddah came in for the first time on 21, I think it was, everybody did time trial on that lap and said this is great for time trial, but it's going to be a terrible racetrack. Nobody's going to be able to overtake around here, and there's loads of overtaking around Jeddah now. So, we may be surprised.
Yeah.
So
I would say it's mostly because there's not any heavy braking zones. It's just a tiny dip of the throttle in those corners. A few of them are just a lift off of the throttle. So yeah, it's also because this track is used. It's designed for MotoGP, so it's not designed for F1 cars. But still, it's a nice circuit.
yeah. I did watch the race around here, which I think was it Lewis Hamilton won here. Was it 2019 was it? I can't remember. I can't remember, but I seem to remember Lewis winning. It was a reasonable race. It wasn't the best race I've ever seen, but it was okay. One of those. I'm just on board with Grez at the moment. He's out on hards doing a race run. He just invalidated his last lap, but seems to be going all right. So, have you actually played the game much?
Well, I did I've not touched F1 World yet. I want to start doing a bit with that, but I sped through the story mode just because I wanted to get that out for me. But it was still really fun. I wish it never ended. It's a really good story mode, better than the one in 2021. An actual time trial, I've not tried the Las Vegas for this season at all. But honestly, I don't think it's that kind of track. From what I've seen, a lot of people are saying it's quite a tough track. But yeah, I've set up my mind in career mode, but I don't think we'll be doing that much. And because it's basically just the same as the last 3 years it's been in the game. And then, yeah, I'm definitely looking to try F1 World now that I've finished the story mode. And then I'll probably be looking to just get a bit more competitive, because I've never really um, raced against people online. You know, I've always raced against the AI, so I want to start getting some experience online.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I have to say, I've got a bit of a confession to make. I never played the first Breaking Point back on 21, so
Oh, no.
I never bothered
You've
with it.
missed out.
So yeah, I kind of think if you've already gone through the story, do I need to go back and play it on 21, or does it sort of recap it for you? You know what happened.
Well, yeah, you can see, but so you will. It's gonna be harder for you to understand, but honestly, it's not like if if you're not really wanting to do it, you shouldn't you shouldn't do a story mode. It's more of a just like time filler. It's not one of the best story modes. That's what I would say, but I enjoyed it quite a bit.
So yeah, if you get a bit fed up of doing TT all the time, I suppose, and you just want
Yeah.
you want to play the game, but you don't want to play
It also
TT or
jumps you
something.
into it jumps you into some fun scenarios as well in races, but the AI I would say are really easy to do. I went on the most challenging AI. I was in a midfield car, and if you give me a 25% race from start to finish and not just jump me in mid race, because it sometimes does that. If you do the race from start to finish, and you start maybe 16th, 17th on the hardest difficulty of AI for breaking point, you would easily win the race.
Okay, so it's not a difficult. Well,
No,
it's
but
not based on
it's
the same AI, the 0 to 110 rating. It's just like an easy, medium, hard sort of thing, is it?
yeah,
Ah,
yeah, and it's like the story's definitely improved from 2021. There was a bit more twists and tales, and it also has a nice narrative, I would say. With it it gave you more of insight to Formula One. Usually it would just be about racing, but then you could see like all the team meetings, and then there was also like family issues and stuff like that. And
right.
you know, there was that type of stuff which you normally won't see on the outside when you're watching.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And it was all quite interactive. You got to be the team principal for a bit, then drive around for a bit, and the questions which you asked would affect the story mode. There's actually different endings to it. So I got the happy ending, but I'm assuming that there is a few bad endings. If you crash in every race, you don't have to restart the session, you just go through to the next race, which can affect the storyline.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, that all sounds good. It's a nice little addition, I think. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and we all like a happy ending, so we'll go with that. Um,
Yeah. Have you tried any F1 World?
no, I've literally all I've done on the game is I've done 4 laps on time trial on the first 10 tracks now.
Mm.
So I've literally done nothing else. That is it. 4 laps on each track of the first 10. So
Yeah.
it's I'm just going through them all and getting a setup, which I'm just nicking off as one of the top guys, and then I'll go back through again and actually sort of adjust the setups and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
try and actually get
I'm also
things
not.
down a bit.
Yeah. I'm not really good with setups as well, so I want to learn a bit more into that. But yeah, some exciting stuff coming for Season 8 for PRF1, that's for sure. And just in general, the game is definitely way better. I will say setting up my wheel and all that was definitely quite annoying, because I had it all set up and ready on the last day of F122, and when I download it for F123, and everything feels different with the force feedback and calibration, and it was horrible, but I did manage to get it all sorted out, so yeah. I did hear quite a few people had issues with their pedals and wheels at the start of the season.
Yeah. yeah, my Discord's been full. It's been like 90% of my Discord has been people moaning about their wheel or their pedals or whatever.
Yeah.
So far, so yeah, I think there is a lot of issues, but I was expecting some sort of update today, but there hasn't been anything so far.
I got one yesterday. I'm not exactly sure,
Yeah.
but there has also been quite a few glitches, which you would expect, but
Yeah,
especially the game has been very.
I've seen on Facebook people already on the F1 page and complaining about the glitches and stuff, and I mean, these people obviously aren't aware that every single game now will be released in this sort of state. And I'm not talking on every single F1 game. I mean every single game, literally every game, will be released in this almost unfinished state, where there's glitches and all that sort of thing. It's just the way it's digital now. It's it's not like back in the days of having a CD or I know some people do have a disc, but it's not the same. Especially back in my old days with a cartridge in the old Mega Drive that I used to have. But in fact, I can actually go back further than that to when we used to use cassettes for games. I used to buy them in your local corner shop for $2.99. Yeah, that was on the Commodore 64. But yeah, it's not like those days. Games had to be fully completed, obviously, to be released on a cartridge or a cassette. And when CDs were first about as well for games. So it's just different now. Everything's connected to the internet, so patches can be released and all that sort of thing. So it's just a way forward on gaming, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but a few of the glitches, I would say probably the revs of when you go into 8th gear, you top out so quickly. I remember it was like Spain. It's quite a long back straight, but definitely not like the top 3 of the long straights in F1.
Yeah.
And I got into 8th gear, no slipstream, no DRS, no ERS, and I was just driving out in 8th gear. I needed an 8th gear. It was really weird. And then in one race in Baku, I got slipstream, DRS, and ERS off of the car. And down the back straight, I hit 218 miles an hour, and the car engine just it went flat. You couldn't hear it trying to rev up anymore. It just went flat at 218. It was just like it was running standing still. It was just like an engine running standing still. It was really. They do need to change that because it doesn't.
Yeah, that needs updating. That will need to be patched. I know there's a massive problem with the actual realistic cars at the moment as well. They're just not right. The Aston Martin's the worst car at the moment, which obviously doesn't reflect real life at all. But there's massive top speed differences between all the cars. So the Red Bull's I think the Red Bull's something like 14 miles an hour quicker than any other car in a straight line. So which is huge.
Well, to be fair, that's realistic to real life.
Well, no, it's not. It's not
also,
though. There's that. I mean, 14. It might have been kilometers an hour rather than miles an hour, but that is a big gap. That is a lot. So the realistic cars aren't usually like that.
I mean, I do remember seeing a few people saying that it's not for actual straight line speed. It's the DRS zones where they gain the most. When they open up the DRS, they have a little thing where when it opens up, it kind of boosts the car forward.
Like a nitro boost.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it. It was, yeah. So it's an interesting one. Also, the new driver faces, some of them they just look off. Like Alonso's one, it looks like he's being possessed by a demon. Max's one, he looks... it's brilliant. And Max's one, he looks like he's like 14 years old. Yeah. Quite weird. Oh, I've actually... yeah. But a few of the bugs which Spriggs found when he played the first 4 hours of the game, F1 World events were only on full wets. Co-op career mode cars are now on equal performance. You need to go to Grand Prix mode and switch it up from there. and then create a new co-op career save file in order to fix this. The safety car is not available for 25% races. If a red flag occurs, the final results will be the ones before the red flag. And yeah, it was. And yeah, the online lobbies, I remember the first one we did on the 13th. You'd expect it, but it was, yeah, quite laggy. I mean, I couldn't even stream it because we had issues with the streaming, and also very unrealistic. Aston Martin were, I would say Alonso would get P10, Stroll would be 13th or something. That was really off.
Yeah.
And then Ferrari were overpowered, usually even beating Red Bull when, if you had a performance chart, it would be like Red Bull really far ahead, but then when you go to the race, they're lacking. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things for it to fix, but it's only technically released today, so
yeah.
You usually find the first month normally is rammed with updates. So hopefully most of that will be sorted within the first month. But it's a very good reason. It just goes back to people want to play the new game as soon as it comes out, which I understand. I get that, but it is a reason why when you're setting up a league, just to have the old game just go on a couple of weeks after the release of the new game, because the new game is never released in a state where it's actually good enough to actually start a season straight away. So as soon as the game comes out, then people are like, no, I don't want to play the old one. New one's out. So it's sort of cult. McLaren so there, just recovering. That was bacon soda.
So then it's good that we at least have the pre-season, so that fills up the time. I'm not sure if the plan was to do some 25% races, 35% races. But that might have changed depending on the lobby, so it might just be doing 5 lappers after 5 lappers. But yeah, the track on Tuesday 13th, it was Spain, but there was so many, it was quite laggy and all that, so they might have changed it quite drastically. I thought I saw in chat Grass saying that they were just going to be doing 5 lappers as... today we're doing Qatar. I'm not sure if it's just 5 lappers, or are we doing the planned 35% race followed by a 25%?
As far as I know, it's the plan. Nobody's told me anything different, so...
okay. Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not a massive fan of that. I haven't really got involved too much in the pre-season, but personally, I think the races in pre-season should be exactly how you're going to do them in the season. The whole point of the pre-season is to check everything and make sure it's actually working. So I don't really see what the point is in us testing a 35%. Our races aren't going to be 35%; they're going to be 50%. So, I don't understand why we're testing things that don't actually matter to the league. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's nice to show 30% races, but honestly, it's just a number for the race. I mean, tire actually just going to be a one-stop all the time, I would say. So, yeah, doing a 2-stop and 35%, I don't think there would be any point. But then after that, we have a 50% race on the 20th and the 23rd for Vegas and Silverstone. So, it's looking to be good data gathering to see how the overtakes start Qatar. Feel for me, I'm quite skeptical about Qatar and Vegas for overtaking. I would say especially Vegas. It's more of not the number of overtakes, but the quality of them, because there's like one pretty long straight where you can make an overtake, and then you've got the strip, which is just absolutely massive. And if you're the car behind, if you're 4/10 behind a car by the start of the Vegas strip, it's basically impossible for you not to head by the end.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I've
it's
been
gonna be
told
exciting.
Vegas is going to be one of those where it's just a massive DRS train. Um, we'll see. Say people sort of make assumptions on what race is going to be like at tracks, and it seldom actually turns out the way people think it will. Um, so, well, from what I've seen before, in a way. But anyway, are you all right? Just carry on for a couple of minutes, Vice. I just need to nip off a second.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, no worries.
Should say it sounds like I'm talking underwater. Well, I'll listen to Ellie's stream just to see. Yeah, it does sound quite bad.
Qatar's first appearance on the F1 calendar came in 2021. This season went down in F1 history for being one of the largest Drivers' Championship battles in F1 history.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do to try and change it.
Arriving in Abu Dhabi on equal points, the championship was finally decided on a
Sorry guys if it does sound like that. I will have to change it for when I actually am doing proper comms when the season starts. Yeah, I don't know why that might be. The guitar pit lane looks quite. Yes, they've got a pretty tight corner, and then it's pretty much just a normal pit lane to be honest. But yeah, there's quite. We're thinking at the moment announce the teams that's gonna be next Friday. Or yeah, not this Friday, but next Friday. That's when we're going to be announcing who's in which car. Of course, it's all realistic performance, so it doesn't make much of a difference, but still exciting to see. The teammates, from what I know, have been announced for Fangio. We have Robbo and Davies teammates as always. For Dark Mark and Goomba, Atkins and Scott. Axel and Akadre, they go to the same school, also Atkins and Scots are siblings. Then we have Spreader and the Dark Lord, Big D and Aaron, Ollie and Dragoon, Camerov and Operator, Spriggs and Fatal, and then OG Shrek and Heo. Those are the guys who will be teammates in Fangio. And then for Lauda we have Josh and Clem, Grez and Schmitzy, the two brothers of Brammy, and you'll see him as Pia 81 more for now. I think he's changed his name to that, but yeah, that's him. He used to have a different name before, but he's changed it now. He used to be its Brokeen, and then we have Master Raven and DDK. Our teammates, then Vince and the 49 teammates, Isaac and Morbius teammates, and Axel and Dystopian the teammates. They're quite good pairings, so we're all balanced. I wouldn't say any team's going to be overpowered, so yeah.
Nice, yeah. So all sounds good. Pretty evened out. In the first lot as well, in the Fangio lot, that's Dark Mark and Gumba are brothers as well.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a couple of sibling teams, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'd form a sibling team with my brother, but he would tell me to piss off, basically, because he hates Formula One. Well, he hates, actually, not just Formula One, he hates sport. Just blanket. As far as he's concerned, sport is from the devil, and it should never be allowed.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm the most competitive person. For sport, for me, the one thing I don't like is it's nice to be competitive, but like usually that goes to anger and rivalry and all that stuff, and I don't like that type of stuff. But um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, yeah, I have to say I've been involved in sport in some way or another my whole life, and yeah, I love the competitiveness. This is just the latest way of me getting that. Really, is playing Formula One online. But yeah,
yeah.
I've played football, rugby, pool snooker is actually my main thing. But yeah, all that said,
That's,
so I've been very competitive over the years. I've played a lot more than that as well. But it's just
yeah.
yeah. But this has become my latest thing and sort of latest fad, and I've probably done it for years. That's what usually happens. Hopefully.
I do like basketball. I've never liked football for some reason. I've just never played it.
I'm so glad you said that. I love football. Don't get me wrong, but I'm nowhere near as into it as I was when I was younger. But um, basketball is awesome. I love basketball. It's
Yes,
absolutely incredible. Um,
I do like
I loved playing it
basketball.
at
Yeah,
school, but when I started watching it, the actual like the NBA and all that, I was just blown away by it. It's such a. It's not just a sporting event. It's a whole. It is a big event sort of thing. You don't just go there to watch basketball. If you go and watch it, it's just an incredible thing.
yeah,
A real sort of treat, and it's yeah. Yeah, no, it's guys at the top of their games playing sometimes like four or five matches a week sometimes in the NBA. Um,
yeah,
and it's yeah. I don't always understand the way they work over in the NBA. Play like 60 games and then you go to a playoff for the last 16 or whatever it is in the playoffs.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's they seem to work things in a strange way over there. But yeah, no, I just love it. Absolutely love it. I could watch it all day long. Basketball, no problem at all.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, you were saying about snooker. I don't know. I was just flicking through the telly one day, and yeah, I saw it, and then yeah, it just looked fun. From what I saw, I've never actually played it myself, but I enjoyed watching it. It's
Yeah,
really
I grew up
yeah,
playing snooker, and then I realised around about 14 years old I wasn't going to be good enough to be a professional. So
sad. Yeah, but um, apart from that, for Formula One game, I think, yeah, 35% races which were not going to use for the league. That's one thing. F1 World and Breaking Point, that's new as well. Red Flag's one of the big features, but are new. As I said, I think damage is off for this practice session, but yeah, I guess that would make sense while everyone's getting warmed up. But, um, yeah, apart from that, and red flags, of course, that's probably the only change for the new game which will affect this league. But obviously the handling and all of that. And there's quite a few changes and a few announcements for Season 8. Not exactly changes, but additions that we're going to be making for Season 8, which should be exciting. And, yeah, the red flags, I would say, that maybe concerns me a bit about how consistently we're going to come out on league races. I would say we'll have to put it on reduced. But, yeah, because if you make it, well, what's another word for reduced? Increased. If you put it on increased, that would be like, and if it's an engine failure and it's not in a big runoff area, that would be a red flag, which is a bit ridiculous, so, yeah. I'm a bit worried that we're gonna have too many red flags.
guys?
Yeah?
Yeah, you can hear me now, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So I don't know what happened, but I just yeah, I was actually talking to you and like, yeah, it was quite clear you couldn't hear me. So,
What was I speaking over you?
no, I just but yeah, I was doing the same to you. It was yeah, but my microphone was muted, sort of thing. But I was
Yeah,
reacting to
well-
what you were saying, and it wasn't nothing was happening. So, but I'm back now.
Yeah, so what's it about red flags, which you're speaking about?
Yeah, I mentioned about the red flags. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it will probably be a good idea to have red flags on reduced with safety car on standard, with the hope that will mean that in most incidents where it's required that a safety car would come out as the go-to thing, with just a red flag being on the the absolute, if it's like a pile-up sort of thing,
Yeah.
But but that's what pre-season's about. This is so we can test this sort of thing and find out what settings to use for the season. So,
Yeah.
I know the admins are very keen on, once we've chosen the settings and once we start the season, ideally they don't like making changes during the season. So, hopefully we can get it all sorted during pre-season. I turned it down again, the cockpit, well, the master volume, because the cockpit's just too loud. But can't do a thing.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I can barely hear it now.
Oh. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to change. Usually for your streams, I put it in broadcast because it's also a different view for seeing everything. Because you'll be in cockpit cam and I'll be able to see everything else through broadcast, just for a different view. And also, it's way nicer and quieter. But yeah, if it's really loud for some reason.
Yeah. I've just listened to a bit of the stream and it sounds fine on there to me. So it's a little bit quiet on my side now that I've lowered it down, but that's fine. I can put up with that. I can get used to it. As long as it sounds right on the stream. I've just realised we had a couple of comments from Source Baby Ruse about the basketball, saying it's 82 games they play in the NBA, and sometimes they're flying all the way across the country playing back-to-back games, like playing one game one night and another the next night, sort of thing. So yeah, it's very. It's really impressive the amount of games they play. I have to say, football teams, football managers complain that their teams have to play 50 games in a season. Well, to win the NBA championship, you've got to play over 100 games in the end. So.
Yeah.
Right, Baker Soda's had enough. He's disappeared, but he's currently top of the leaderboard. Don't know how much attention we can pay to the actual timings here. People do like to sandbag a little.
Much.
Yeah. People do like to sandbag a little bit in practice. Nobody really wants to show their actual pace. I don't think that would be the case for the race, even though it's pre-season. I think they'll try their best, but obviously, by the time we actually start the season, they'll be so much more practiced, the drivers, that they'll probably automatically just be quicker by the time we get to the season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For the F1-23 I've just pulled up, just pretty much all the changes. So there's F1 World, Breaking Point. You also have obviously my team, and there's the new tracks as well, Qatar and Vegas and Portimao, China, and Paul Ricard returning. But of course, Paul Ricard, that doesn't really need to change considering that we had it in last season, and China was always supposed to be on the calendar for 2020, 21, and 22. So the only really one I would say, which is an exclusive track, would be Portugal, but we had that race in 2021 in real life, so There's not any actual, I would say, DLC tracks,
No,
which
I
I
mean,
think is
all three
something.
of those tracks have been in the last 3
Yeah,
games, so
yeah.
um, yeah, it's I don't know how much has actually been done to them. Um, I know that the big thing they've been doing with the tracks for the
I think you've. I can't hear you anymore again.
no, I don't know what's
Yeah, I can hear you now.
using this.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I do actually. I think it's a connection with headset.
But yeah, I think in F24, considering that we won't have a breaking point, hopefully they have more time to put in some DLC tracks and cars.
Yeah, yeah, something. I think Bram Yeagers, I think, just crashed out. He was definitely on track.
Well, damage is off, so I'm not really sure
Oh,
if
perhaps he
that
just
could have
retired on
happened.
track then. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
but and of course for 35% races in red flag, that's pretty much. And also, of course, the big revamp to the handling model, those are all the big things which are happening with F1-23.
yeah, I mean, I think the general consensus since release from at least 90%, probably more, of the people that play it is that it's a massive improvement from last year's game. Um, I'm one
Yeah.
of the very few people that actually enjoyed 22 and actually thought it was a really good game, but
What?
I know not many did, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, I'm struggling a little bit with the start of this one. I must admit, I'm struggling. That's
Yeah.
why I'm only 4 laps on the first 10 tracks, because I'm struggling to fall in love with it at the moment. So
Well, yeah, I would say it's still even though it's easier, it doesn't mean that after you've been used to driving for a year on F1-22, it's a big change either way because sometimes you just have to learn for your foot to just stamp on the throttle at a lot earlier than it usually would, or
yeah,
there's quite a few habits which you have to get out of. Also, like short shifting, you don't have to do that as much anymore. So quite a few habits you have to get out of.
yeah, and I must admit, in the little bit of time trial I've done, I've definitely noticed that there's some things that I need to get out of the habit of. Quite often I would take a corner on 22 in 4th gear, um, when really it should have been taken in a lower gear, whereas on this game you actually want to go down and use the lower gears now. Also, I found that because I'd still use Racing Line, I found that the Racing Line has changed this year. Generally, last year's game you could always brake a little bit later than it told you. That wasn't an issue, but I'm struggling with that this year. I'm finding I need to brake it a little bit earlier, if anything.
I saw you on your test stream.
Oh, don't know. That was horrendous.
No, yeah, to be fair, some of those breaking points were a bit dodgy, but it was. How could you see the racing line with the cockpit cam? That was quite impressive.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm just used to it. I've tried the other views and I can't no. It's just they are so wrong. But yeah, no. Look, I think everybody should use cockpit cam. I think that everybody should be forced to use cockpit cam in league racing.
For yeah.
But especially for esports, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just used to it. So yeah. I guess it's like anything. You just get used to it. The more you do it, the more you get used to it, and I think it just adds that little bit extra to the experience. So,
Yeah, I guess it's also you'd say it's kind of like cheating to not be in cockpit cam for F1 esports drivers.
absolutely, it's an assist in my opinion. Using any other camera is an assist. So the amount of people that have told me over the years, you've got to use the chase cam or whatever it is that people generally use, whatever camera it is. The amount of people, you will be quicker if you get used to this camera. You will be quick. I don't care. I don't care about being quicker. I just care about enjoying the game, and
Yeah.
being as quick as I can. But I want the best experience I can. So if I change your camera, if I gain 2 tenths, I'd rather be 2 tenths slower, or 3 tenths, or 4 tenths, or whatever it is.
Yeah. If you're playing on PC, I know you can use VR, which is the ultimate experience, I would say, but it's not that good. It's not
Not there
really
yet, is it?
finalized. Yeah,
I still think VR is probably about 10 years away until it's the technology's really there to make it a good experience. I think, in my opinion, it'd be fun to give it a go and stuff, but yeah, to use it on a regular basis, I think we're still about 10 years away from that, really. We'll see. I don't know. I could be wrong.
yeah, 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 yeah. And especially, I mean, people who do play it, it's only for PC, of course, and you also have the it's just not good quality and it sometimes freezes out, and yeah, although it's really cool just, to look around, and then it feels like you're in an actual F1 car, but yeah, it's not full experience, definitely. And going back to what you were saying for cockpit cam, I would say that they should even use the halo to cover up the thing. That's really challenging. I
Yeah.
know, but yeah.
That's the bit I don't use. I think the problem is the reason why I don't have the Halo on, and there will be people who listen to what I've said and then say, well, if you don't use the Halo, you're not doing it properly, and they're right. But the fact that because I still have to use the racing line, if I put the Halo on, I cannot see the line. It's that simple, because the middle part of the Halo covers the line. So
Yeah.
until I can learn to drive without the racing line, at that point I'll put the Halo back on because just won't need it.
Yeah.
Won't need it off anymore. But I must admit, when the Halo first came into the game, I was like, because I was cockpit, I didn't know there was an option to turn it off at this point. I'm like trying to play the game and I'm like, I can't see a thing. And I wasn't league racing back then. I didn't have people that I could like bounce off, that could have told me that you could just turn it off. So I spent ages not really being able to play the game because I just couldn't see anything.
But yeah, it doesn't really affect you that much, except of course for racing line if you use that. But it doesn't really affect you because you're always looking to the left or the right for the next corner. You're never looking directly ahead of you.
That's
so
right.
unless you're, I would say maybe wheel-to-wheel racing would be a bit trickier, but yeah, it shouldn't be.
But I don't know. I mean, I use for wheel-to-wheel racing. If you're in cockpit view, you probably rely more on the proximity arrows than people in other views. Like, so I'm completely reliant on the arrows. So it's which is why I've heard people in leagues say before, people that use cockpit view cause so many accidents. Well, I've done a lot of stewarding now, and in my experience, actually, people who've use cockpit view are the complete opposite. They hardly ever cause an accident, and I think that's because we're so reliant on the proximity arrows that we're so used to using them. We know exactly how much room we can give in that. Whereas in the other views, you're using two perceptions. You're using the arrow and being able to actually see the other car. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
But I definitely know from stewarding that barely ever see a cockpit camera player in the steward's room, to be honest.
Yeah, and also it would be really difficult, but a lot of things which iRacing do, like stewarding mid-race or being able to replay parts of a race live, because it really does, as commentators, sometimes, and I feel like drivers sometimes afterwards were like, I was wishing you guys got that on stream, you guys got that overtake on stream, or were wondering why the crash happened and all of that. Of course, it's not like the biggest part of the game to do commentating. I mean, it's not. But still, being able to replay things through the race live would be nice, I would say.
Yeah, that would be I've no idea how they could do that. Whether they could use the Xbox's. Well, I don't know, just Xbox, but whether all the consoles, I just play Xbox. But obviously, the Xbox has the capture thing, so you can record what's happened in the last. I think that's 2 minutes or something. So, whether there's some way of using that to be able to do replays or not, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know about how quickly. But I mean, there's other things that, for commentary and we've already mentioned it right at the start of this about the tyre wear and that.
Yeah.
Just have some more options. An actual commentator's mode instead of just spectate. A commentator's mode.
And also like being able to see people's past lap on the graphic, then compare it to someone else's lap. Just stuff like that would make it so more immersive.
Definitely, and hopefully they'll realise that, because of esports, that's the sort of direction these things are going in now. And I think probably Formula One more than most others. Most other types of sport, I don't think FIFA's heading in that sort of direction so much. But I think Formula One more than other games is probably really heading in that direction. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here. Are we going into a new lobby?
One shot.
Or...
I think. I'm not sure about the lobby. I do know that we're going to have a one-shot quali, and I've never done that while spectating. I don't know how that's going to look.
Yeah, so... a hilly teaching moment. So, you could... I find it best in one-shot quali. Obviously, it's a new game. It might have changed, but when you change drivers in one-shot quali, it does this like sort of fade out, fade in thing. So it takes about 2 seconds to actually change driver. So I generally find, unless the one you're on spins or invalidates, that it's best just to stick with one driver really, rather than changing around. Because the other reason is that the leaderboard constantly updates as well. So you'll try and move to a driver that's in P4, but by the time it actually moves to it, it's somebody completely different. So it's
so many invalidations in this practice session, which is what you would expect. But yeah, I think I did do this one shot once, I think, and it faded out, but I wasn't sure if that was online or off because a few people left the lobby, so I wasn't sure. Yeah. But yeah, I do think it's something like that. Also, I do like the new...
You're right about the invalidations, my God.
Yeah. But also the tires, the display for softs, mediums, and hards looks way better. But it's like F1 from 2022 with the new regulations. They switched to like a dark mode from the 2021 graphics.
Yeah, and on the positions on the left when you're in session, I like the badges as well, the team badges.
Yeah.
That's kind of better. Instead of having to go by the colour and trying to work out the difference between an Alpine and a Mercedes or something, and the Williams. It's like, God, hang on, the Williams is slightly darker, so I think that's a Williams, and then you go to it and it's an Alpine. And
it's a nightmare, yeah. And it also looks nice in my team career mode now, because from what I've seen from other people, you have like your own logo now, which looks nice. I feel like for my team, they also have to just make it a bit more like you feel like a team on the F1 grid. I mean, in the story mode of Connor Sport, they look like a proper F1 team, while you rock up looking like, a bare bones car. It's really without any sponsors, with livery made on Microsoft Paint, and it just all looks really bad. But yeah. Do you know who we're joining?
it's either Spreader or Davis, I think, but I'm not sure.
I think it's Spreader.
Spreader, you can't. Oh, hang on. Actually, that's a good point. Something I just thought of. I was about to say, Spreader, you can't have the host advantage, but is that even a thing? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. Oh, also F1 Life. I'm really disappointed that got overshadowed by F1 World. It's just
I
yeah.
literally I don't know these features yet. I've not touched them. Um
Oh,
yeah. So I just
well,
I don't know anything about them really, to be honest.
well, so there was F1 Life, and then they they've added in now F1 World. Now F1 Life is just its own tiny tab in F1 World, and it's really sad because now it doesn't get the attention that it needs to, and they also took out my favourite lampshade, so I'm just really, yeah, I'm getting really emotional.
I want my lampshades back. Oh,
Yeah, me and Scott, we've been we got really worried when the announcement came out with no F1 Live information, and yeah, I'm so disappointed. It's quite shocking.
yeah. It's
Oh well.
I have to start a petition to bring back lampshades, or to bring back the better
Yeah.
best lampshades. Perhaps you should be able to design your own lampshades. How good would that be? Oh wow.
Oh, forget a livery editor. Just design your own lampshades. For
Definitely. You'd never bother
yeah,
actually playing F1 again. You'd just be
yeah,
lampshade
yeah.
designing.
And have you seen the new Adidas shoes they've put in? Oh, they've got like black, but they've got white stripes. Oh, it looks brilliant.
Oh
And
my.
the new floors, they look so minted. And some of the windows, like in Spreader's lobby right now, those windows, they look so tall and wide. And oh, look at those lamps at the top. They've got the fancy hexagons. Oh god.
You are loving this, aren't you? This is designer heaven. Um, how do I get rid of it? You can usually get rid of it, can't you? Oh, I can't see the options to it. That last year's game, you could press the button, and it got rid of the lobby.
Oh, does it? Oh, I've never. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was wondering because it was blocking the view of all the beautiful Nike t-shirts.
yeah,
If you scroll through, keep on going back and forth between lobby and select team and a driver, you can kind of see them for a second, and I can see one of the guys has. Oh, I think he has a purple t-shirt. And is
yeah.
that? No, it's an E8 cap. Woohoo! He's rocking the drip
I know
today.
you got some twins after the other two twins, I think, wearing the same clothes.
Oh yeah, and what was sunglasses as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can see the poster. I think it's a 2019 McLaren front wing.
Oh, you've never told that. You said, how can you see that? Oh my
Well,
god, young
no, I'm
lads.
flicking through faster than you. It's like extremely fast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've just realised if I go really, really fast, it kind of
Yeah,
stays
yeah, like
lucid
that.
for a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
Okay.
And if you see, look at the windows. There's like three of them, and they're all super tall and wide, and you've got all that sunshine coming in. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
anyway, it looks like a short qualifying
Oh,
for the moment,
somebody
and
somebody else has joined. There's four now. There's four of them, and it's not twins anymore. It's triplets.
oh no, I think it's two separate twins because we've got two twins who are putting their finger in the air, and then the other two who are putting their hand on their neck.
Ah, yeah. You got
Or
yeah. So you
yeah,
got one set of twins that have turned up in the same clothes, like twins often do, and one set of twins that are like, no, we don't. We're too cool for that.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I
But
see.
all of them are rocking the sunglasses and the salt weather, so this makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Set those eyes. Eyes are precious
They
for
need
Formula
to
One
take their
drivers.
shoes off though.
You know.
Yeah, but for them need to take their shoes off because that floor is gonna get really dirty in a moment.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, someone else is joined.
Yeah.
Oh, they look the exact same.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know. It's, I don't know, but 9 people are listening to us do it.
Brilliant.
Sorry, guys. This is the sort of thing that happens
Oh,
when you just sat waiting for a lobby to be sorted. Everybody's in. We're up. It says 18 out of 22.
yeah, I think we just need more pages like this car and we'll be ready to go. Also, the
Come on.
Alfa Romeo livery got a, they can't put the stake sponsor on because it's a gambling company. So instead, they've put an Alfa Romeo kick, which the car doesn't look as nice anymore with that, which is a bit unfortunate. But another thing with Alfa Romeo, I feel like at the start of this season in 2022 and at the start of season in 2023, when we saw the livery reveal, it looked so nice and we were all like, wow, this is the best car of the grid. But then after a few races, it just doesn't really look that nice anymore. It just looks kind of meh.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like it's gotten dirty in the first few races and
Yeah,
nobody's cleaned it, you know, between races. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I always end up just liking the Ferrari one in the end because, you know, they're just plain red and it's just like, they always look the same, I know, but I don't know. I don't know. Halfway through the season, I end up going, oh yeah, no, I think Ferrari's my favourite. I don't know why.
Yeah. The Mercedes Silver at the start was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And it just looks like such a plain and boring car. And then we're back with the black and it just looked so nice at the start. It was just kind of eh. I mean, either black or silver, they've not got a lot of variety for colours, Mercedes.
Yeah, I guess so. Mind you, say that, like, my favourite livery of all time is the, I can't remember the year exactly, it might have been 1998, the arrows, the black arrows.
I'll need to go check that now, because that's well before my time.
Yeah, black arrows. It was a hell of it was a terrible car. Don't get me wrong. It was a horrendous car, but it just looked cool.
Yeah, go. Well, it's showing me a Mercedes at the moment. Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't quote me on the year because I might have made the year up, but.
An Arrows a 1998. I think you got it right.
Oh, blooming wow.
But
I'm just going to quickly change my controller bashers a second because I don't want them to go out in the race, so just bear with me.
Yeah, okay. To be fair, with my wheel, it's been a nightmare having every single setting with the DRS, look back, look forward, pit limiter. It's been really annoying, but ERS increase. It's been quite a nightmare, especially since it's not designed for an Xbox Series X. But yeah, the Arrows livery, which you're talking about, I mean, it just looks. If it didn't have sponsors, it would literally just be a black car. Even with the tires, it's just yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. There we go. What's the hold up now? Come on. Actually, should we have a look through? Let's go from the top. Bacon Soda in McLaren. He looks pretty good in practice. I don't know much about him though. I think he's a Tuesday driver, isn't he?
We're changing to Silverstone, I think.
Are we?
Well, Rob was saying we're doing the Qatar Grand Prix and then we're doing the Silverstone Reverse Grid 25. I thought it was a Qatar 35 and then a Qatar Reverse 25, but it's a Qatar 35 then a Silverstone 25 reverse.
Okay. fine.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, Bacon Soda. What can we expect from him? Is he a quick boy?
Well, yeah, from what I saw when he was just literally when I joined the league, and he was,
Oh, what's going on now? Voice chat suspended. Does that affect us?
um,
No,
I could
I
hear
think that's
you,
the.
I'm just,
Yeah, no, I don't think that affects us. I think that's the people in the lobby being able to speak to
yeah.
each other in their headsets. Um, okay.
Yeah, okay, but what was the question you asked? I completely forgot. Oh yeah,
Baker,
baking
yeah, just
soda.
Bacon Soda. What
Yeah,
is he? Is because he's a Tuesday driver. I don't know much about him. So, is he a
yeah,
quick
well,
one?
I think he got kicked after one race, but he's been joined back. I think he got a ban for a bit.
Oh right. Okay.
I don't think it was anything that serious to be honest, but yeah. I saw him the only time I actually got the chance to see him was Belgium, and for that race I was Big D was commentating, and I was just spectating the race, learning all the drivers.
Right.
I was so nervous back then, but yeah, now it really just feels like a home PRF1.
Yeah,
But
you've come out your shell now. You're doing absolutely fine.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
okay. Well, we know Robbo. He's a Friday night driver, and he's always sort of fighting top 10. Big D same as well, and can challenge for podiums. Greza is always up there when he races, so he's every chance of winning any race he goes into. Big Perry,
who's
I don't
Big
know.
Perry?
That's
Is
that
that
might
not
be a new one.
Jake who joined?
It could be.
From the
It's
Discord, I think it was Jake or
yeah.
something like that. That was his name.
People need we need to get it sorted. People need to be using their gamer tags in the Discord really, so that we know who they are.
Yeah.
We've let that slide a little bit, but we'll get on that.
Yeah.
Dragoon seems to have gained a bit of pace on this game. I can remember back on 21, he was nice and quick. Then 22, I don't know the reason why, but he just seemed to lose it a little bit, and he was still good, but just not fighting as high as he was. But he seems to be back to his 21 pace at the moment.
Is Clem Polish?
I don't know. I don't think no. He's from Midlands, I think. So
So yeah, because he's got the Polish flag on his thing. I thought that
yeah.
was a bit odd.
Um, yes, yeah. Clem. Again, I'm not seeing him race that much, Clem. So I'm not.
Well,
Really
he's
sure.
like, I think he's like Robbo, just midfield top 10, I would say, usually,
Right.
but I feel like quite a few times he has been exceeding track limits. That's one of his weaker points, I would
Right.
like to say, but I'm
So
not too sure because he's not participated in quite a few races, and I've obviously not been in this league that long to even know most of these guys.
yeah. Atkins. I think again, sort of mid pack sort of pace. But yeah, finishes top 10 quite a lot as well. Dre. Yeah, well, we kind of learned actually towards the end of last season. You just don't know with Dre, do you? It depends which
Yeah,
Dre turns up on a night. He
yeah,
might be at the back, he might be at the front. You just don't know. But he's rarely in the middle, and that's that's what I have learned. He's rarely in the middle. He's either at the back or the
yeah.
front. Scott again. He's probably on the Friday night driver's side of things. I would say that Scott is the most improved driver over the last sort of 24 months. So in
Well,
PRF1.
yeah, he's
24. Why
also
did I say
he's
24 months? 12 months, not 24. Um,
but
yeah,
yeah, I would also mention that he's, I think, nearly a full non-assists user. He doesn't use traction control. He doesn't use the racing line. He keeps on blabbing on about how braking boards can help. But um, yeah, he might be
please
down there
don't
in
break the
the
braking boards because yeah, I don't know when to
yeah.
brake.
uh,
um,
but yeah,
Next one is Hyper Igniter. Is he a new driver?
he's new. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's new.
so we're not too sure. Bram's rapid, absolutely rapid. So I'm not expecting
But I
anything else
have
from him. He
seen
will
some
be at the front.
races. some races he has been. He's either battling for the top five or he's just dominating the race. That's what I
Yeah,
feel it is with Bram.
yeah. But I have noticed on the TT times on this game already, he's a little bit ahead of everybody else at the moment. So yeah. Shrek, again, he can fight for podiums. There's no doubt about that. He's usually sort of top five, I would say. Spreader's the current Friday night champion, having won it last week. So definitely up there. Although Quali Pace usually puts him sort of top seven, I would say. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, his race pace is definitely a strong point, but we don't know for this because his CT's looking pretty decent as well. So it might be a slightly different this year. Davis, I guess we put in the same sort of bracket as Robbo again.
Yeah.
That's sort of top 10. Dean, I don't know. Dean Morby. So
I thought his name was Morby.
Marby, Mabby.
I,
I don't
I,
know.
th- I think he told me at the start in Miami that his name was pronounced Morby.
Morby. Okay. Um, fair enough. So what's he like then? What's
He's like, I would say, um, yeah, probably midfield again, around 10th to 15th. He's really good at his starts more, but he's always gaining around a few 4 or 5 positions off the start.
yeah? We can, what's Dean saying? We can still hear you. You're supposed to
Ah,
be able to hear us.
that's from when the voice chat got disabled, that
Oh right,
message
okay.
when that came up.
Oh,
Yeah.
right then.
Okay.
Fatal Defiance. We are obviously had a really tough time on F1 22. I don't think there's any hide in that, but hopefully this year's game he can look to bounce back a bit. I know he certainly wasn't bad at all on 21, so hopefully with this year's game he can bounce back a little bit. Blonde is another one. He's rapid as well, so we can expect him to
Yeah.
be at the front somewhere. Finally, it's starting. I don't really know what's going on with the lobby. It's been on 19 out of 22 for I don't know how long. So
Yeah. Well, I could easily hop in right now, but I've I've not. I'm not fast enough, I don't think, to even be in the league. So I race in the league. So yeah. But there's also two more. Dystopian. He's quite quick. He's definitely, I would say, top 10. And sometimes he's got that quali pace, which puts him to like uh top 3 quali pace, top 5 quali pace, I would say. And also it's Brokiner as he's changed his name now, Pia.
yeah,
He's extremely quick. I wouldn't say he's as quick as his brother Bram, but he's definitely around top 5 pace.
yeah. So they're the two Belgians, aren't they? Both from
Yeah.
Belgium.
Yeah.
So brothers. So yeah, expect to see a lot of them. It looks like they changed it to short qualifying rather than one shot.
Yeah.
So uh, which I think is better actually. I'd rather that than one shot to be honest. I don't. I'm not keen on the one shot qualifying. Especially we saw in
Sh-
practice just how easy it is to invalidate around here. So we could have ended up with a grid where nobody set a time. So,
Yeah, yeah. But
um,
just look at that, all the it looks way nicer,
it's
the spectators view, but
yeah, the
yeah, but they
graphics
still need.
have much improved. There's no doubt
Yeah,
about
and
that.
even just the lighting and all of that just looks absolutely brilliant. One thing I will mention is it says Q1. Did it say that for a short qualifying before? I thought it just said Q.
No, it yeah. Well, ooh, my last experience of short qualifying was as a driver rather than comms, and it just says lap one or lap two, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think on spectator now. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it usually just says Q. Well, just keep an eye on that. The thing is, Q1 and short qualifying are the same times, so they're
Yeah.
both 18 minutes. So it's yeah. I
Do you
guess
like
we'll
the new telemetry with the throttle and gears and ERS?
yeah. Uh, in the spectator mode, you mean? It's yeah.
Well, also when you're racing,
Yeah, see, I don't
the
get that when I'm racing because it's on my actual
oh yeah, of
dashboard
course,
because of the cockpit.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but it has a similar look to it. But yeah, I like this. So from what I'm understanding, the green on the right is your throttle, the red on the left is the brake, and in the middle is the ERS. That's
Yeah,
what I'm guessing.
it's.
The bit at the top is
I would
the
say
revs.
yeah. I would say the ERS still feels quite a bit overpowered, and the DRS doesn't feel powerful enough. I would say. I'm not really sure, but I would say maybe lower down the powerfulness of the ERS, and then raise up the powerfulness of the DRS just a tiny bit more, and it will look nicer.
Oh, look, we get it counts down to the DRS zone. Did you see that?
Does
Yeah,
the
when they were coming up to a DRS zone, it
always
did
done
it from
that?
I think about 200 meters and counted down.
Oh, I
Just
thought it
above the.
always did that.
No, I don't think so.
Hmm. No,
Don't say that. Don't tell me I've just done a whole year on the F122 without even realising it does that. That's
wait.
how many races
Huh.
I've commentated in the last 12 months that I didn't realise once. Um,
I'll go and check. 'Cause I need to see.
I'm not going to let that go now. Gonna have to keep an eye on that. You have to check that. It's right. I usually go to the driver who was first out, but I've got absolutely no idea who that was.
And yeah.
Who's on? I just picked someone on a hot lap. Here's Dean Morby. Oh, round he goes! Hits the wall, but his tyre didn't fall off for a 2 mile an hour clash with the wall. Which is lovely to see. Since 22, probably would have lost the wheel there.
Yeah. 100%.
He has lost his
But
mind, no.
I would also.
Don't take out the braking boards! Oh my, you're going to be in so much trouble.
Oh, Scott is running after you.
Yeah, Scott is. We have got you on camera doing that, pal. You are in so much trouble with Scott. As Big D goes fastest early on then, so 22.3 from Big D is has teammate Dystopian, 22.8, 22.3 as well from Big Perry.
As Hilly, I would just like to say, I'm watching back WAO F1. It's always had the meter thing before the DRS.
You are kidding
It's always
me.
count.
I don't believe you. I'm gonna have to check. I think you're winding me up.
No,
There is no
go
way.
to
I'm not.
go to Quali, and then it's a few meters before you open up the DRS. It's got the little animation where the green line goes closer to the middle, and then in the middle you've got the meter number.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. The green. Yeah, I know what you mean on that. But this is but no. This has got the. So this actually comes up 200 meters and counts down to 1 or 0.
Yeah, it has that on the last game as well.
Well, it looks different this time and it looks better.
The font.
So it's about to
changed, I
come up.
think.
I'm on Dragoon. It's about to come up. Look, 250 meters. DRS 250 meters. Okay, all the way down. Dunk. Yeah, I see what you mean now. That green thing coming across is just reminding me a little bit, but it looks better. Definitely looks better. Dragoon goes into P8 on a 24.0. Who just jumps up? I think it's Spreader into P5. Reza.
Honestly, I'm so lost on this track. I actually have no idea if we're at the start of it or at the end of it. I've
No.
barely done. Yeah.
No, I've got to look at the track map and see where the arrow is on the map. Otherwise, I ain't got a
Yeah.
clue. Hello, by the way, Dragoon. Good evening, fellow Bristolian, he says. Hello, Dragoon. There's a lot of Bristolians on the F1. I'm talking to a lot of them. Grezzo across the line. Who's 122.7. He went flat out over the line there, though. What? That was. Nah, yeah, he's got a lot more left in him yet.
Yeah. The
Lawns invalidated.
checkered flag is quite the line, the checkered flag, when you come out of the final corner, it's quite a long run until you get to the checkered flag. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
That
the start finish line isn't halfway, is it? It's closer to turn 1 than it is to the final corner. So
Yeah.
just to bear in mind whether that would give people an opportunity on the final lap, maybe, to gain an extra place.
Yeah.
Little drag race down to the
Also,
finish.
the steering wheel has changed. The graphic has completely changed. It looks cleaner. I'm not sure if it's more realistic, but it looks cleaner, I would say.
Yeah, I must admit, in cockpit view, the main thing that really stood out the first time I went in was the whole the ERS bit, so the yellow, red and green thing. I was a little bit like, whoa, that's different when I was first running the car. Yeah, I don't know, because I haven't done a race yet, so I haven't seen the ERS actually going down and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll keep an eye on that.
But Las Vegas, it also has the last. If you're qualified on the last 4 slots of the grid, you're going to be starting on a bit of an angle, especially if you've qualified last. So you're going to have to steer for the first corner.
Oh,
which
that's
is quite
not
awkward.
nice. So okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. That really is nice. That can't be fair, can it?
Well,
Starting on a...
for Silverstone, they also have it if it's a big. If there's a lot of cars on the grid, they also have it even nastier when you're starting on the inside for that final corner where there's that big curb and all that. But it's a tiny kink. It's definitely going to lose you time, but
Right.
yeah. The Las Vegas circuit, it's hard when you're trying to build a circuit on the streets. It's hard to fit everything
Yeah.
into place.
Yeah, of course, yeah. The Morby finally got to. He's just crossing the line to start a lap, I believe. Hey Shads, by the way. Shad says bacon soda is mega quick. Currently 7 tenths faster than P2. So looking very handy.
Yeah. Also for me, I know this is kind of off topic, but Cops was flat on a default setup, which was, it was without any slipstream or ERS. If I used ERS, it wasn't flat. I had to do a little bit of a lift, and also for some reason the telemetry, it's telling me to brake for Cops, even though you could easily make it flat. So I don't think the telemetry's been updated for it. It's telling me to brake even though you can easily go flat on the default setup. So that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I think it does it on Spain as well for the right-hander. That just leads onto the little straight that ends sector 2. I think it does it there as well. Where it tells you to brake slightly, but you can take it flat out quite easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
also
you're right.
the new Spain. Yeah.
Sorry.
Of the new Spain layout, I actually liked the chicane.
I did.
It just, yeah, it was just, it was nice. It felt nice. I mean, I know it was bad for overtaking opportunities, but yeah, I liked it. I thought it was quite a nice feature of the track, and especially, yeah, it just felt nice, and also it was like the only slow speed section of the track, so you had a big variety.
Yeah.
How they've modified it now, it's not like it's bad, it's still good. It's just, I'm sad that the chicane's gone.
Yeah. Well, I did my, that's one of the tracks I did my 4 time trial laps on that I'm doing at the moment. And it took me till the 4th lap to actually do a time, because I just kept, the penultimate corner, I kept trying to turn in as if I'm going into the chicane next. So I just kept driving off track.
Yeah.
I couldn't, my head just couldn't get round that bit had changed, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put some proper time into that to get it right. But I know one of the guys from WAOF1 Carsey is already way into the low 110s around there. That's
Wow.
he's in top 20, I think, on the world leaderboard.
I was doing 113s.
Yeah, I'm being happy. You know, it's yeah, just ignore people like that, mate, because they're just so annoying. Like, I beat him. I did I was doing time trial around China, right, last season, like on 22, to get ready for a race I had later in the week, and I got ahead of him, and so I went straight into the chat in the Discord and like, yeah, I got ahead of Carsey, look at me. So he said, he literally pops up in the Discord, so I got 30 minutes spare before I go to work. So I'll just jump on now, and literally within about 10 minutes he goes, there you are, I'll beat you. No. So upset.
Yeah.
On laps, or what's showing us on laps at the moment, aren't improving. Aaron, I think, might be on a lap. He's not got time on the board. So we've got 20 drivers now, by the way. I think Aaron must have jumped in.
CL16?
Yeah, that's Aaron. So.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Is it Aaron? I assume it's Aaron. It runs.
Well,
RRF1.
is he on Xbox or PC? Because it would show the.
That's a very good question. This driver's definitely on PC.
Because it's usually CFC Al, but now it's
That's
just
right.
CL.
Yeah, so maybe it's not Aaron then. I don't know. I'm questioning it now. I don't know.
Yeah, but a few people in the Discord showed their gamer tags. I could check that out now.
Why does the engine sound like it's spluttering down the pit straight?
Yeah, that's the revs.
That's what you were talking.
I think.
Ah. Okay.
It's just going.
Yeah, it's
just
literally
doing
sounds like
it.
it's. Oh, it's done it there
And
as well.
then-
It sounds like it's dying. It really does.
Yeah, I read at some point after that, if you reach 218 miles an hour, which you can actually reach quite easily without a lot of effort, it literally just the engine feels like it's not revving up, not revving down. It just stays. It's like you're just standing still with the engine running. It just completely stops.
Right.
They need to change that, but
CL16
quite
went
annoying.
into P3 on their lap. I think it probably is Aaron. No, he's just playing on PC tonight. I don't know. It's the 16's making me think it probably is Aaron.
yeah, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Hyper Igniter. So, remind me again, Hyper Igniter and is a new driver. And there's one other new driver, isn't there? I can't remember who it is.
Big Perry.
Big Perry.
I think he's maybe Jake.
Right,
Jake
okay.
Griffin, I think his name was in the chat, but I'm not sure.
No worries. Big Harry
Yeah,
Perry.
Discord, yeah.
Ferrari, if I can get to it in time. There we go. It's faded to the fights, comes across the line, improves by 2.3 seconds. We're off at the back at the moment, but shouldn't worry about that too much. Greza is out.
Oh, what's he done?
And that. It's in the pits, isn't it?
Well,
There's somebody causing a yellow flag all around the track that's driving around, which is confusing me, but
I never saw a yellow in the pit lane. That's. I'm not sure.
yeah, there's definitely somebody that's run out of fuel on track. Just about to come up to that driver now. It's a Williams. Is Greza out of this session because he's run out of fuel? 'Cause that would be new, wouldn't it? They usually it would switch you into low fuel mode and you just dawdle around until you get back to the
Well,
bits.
it's not the most realistic thing.
Well, hang on, is it Clem? Oh no, it's Clem. It's Clem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Suddenly thought to myself, why don't you just look at the other Williams driver and see if it's them? And then you'll know. So, yeah.
Also, the spectators view now, it looks a bit different when you ride on board. I feel like it's a bit more zoomed in.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit, the first time when I was on board with it, I immediately thought this looks better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And
I think it is
the
more.
lighting.
See, we're more
Yeah.
zoomed in. It might be lifted up slightly more.
Yeah.
Because
the
we're
lighting
above
in
the
this
driver's
game-
head now, whereas before it looked like it could be the helmet, well, a bit like the helmet cam, I think. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not too sure. It's something like that anyway. That, along
Yeah,
with the fact that
it-
the graphics are just sharper.
Yeah. It's beautiful, honestly. I love it so much.
Davis
The new
just
graphics.
heading down to the final corner. And his car didn't sound so bad. Where did he go? P13. We got a mixture of drivers in tonight. This isn't one league's driver. Well, it's all PRF1, but it's obviously a mixture of the Tuesday and the Friday.
Yeah.
But I think
I'll show you a
quite a
clip
few of
here.
the Tuesday drivers that have come over or are racing tonight are some of the faster guys, aren't they? So
Well, I would say the Fangio ones are closer, and then Lauda you've got maybe two, which are just the fastest overall of the whole league, and then you've got a few midfields, and then a few bottom midfield, and then it's like three separate midfields, and then two really fast drivers, but
yeah,
two or three really fast drivers, but yeah. I'll show you a clip later on of the gear repping, because I don't think at Qatar it shows the full figure. It's,
Ooh.
yeah, insane.
oh, I think that was a bit of a lag. Baker Soda out the final corner then. One thing I've just noticed, they're running out of ERS before they reach the line.
I think
So-
that also happened a few times on F122, but
It did, yeah. There was some tracks, so, but that's something to bear in mind. You want energy on that final straight because it's a straight. There's going to be other parts of the track. It's not so important. So the
although
sharper among
Spreader,
us may turn it off.
yeah,
during the lap.
Spreader never got the deploy used message, so
Yeah, so he might already be doing it. So I would suggest the area around where the 2 is on the track map. That's the sort of area where you probably
yeah.
could save a little bit.
Although that is a flat, quite a few high speed corners, but yeah, bacon soda with pole. And Blonde in second, but yeah, Blonde and Bram are super quick, and to have Bacon Soda 3/10 faster than Blonde is scary.
It is indeed. Very, very good job from those guys. Very impressed. Bram, yeah, 7/10 off the pole, but still very good in P3. Spreader in P4, Dystopian P5, Robbo in 6. CL16 then that we think is Aaron, but we're not 100% sure. Big Harry Perry in P8, Big D P9, Greza in 10, Atkins, and so on. I'll just scroll through the rest. Couple of messages.
But yeah, Fatal was 5.2 seconds off, so I'm hoping he had mistakes on his lap, but
Yeah,
he has more pace.
could be, but he might not. I did notice him playing F122 the other night. I've got a feeling he's only got the game today. Because I
Okay.
did notice that he was playing F122. I think it was yesterday. So I think, yeah, he's perhaps only had it today, whereas others have had it since Tuesday. So, yeah. Just a couple of comments. Good to be in the league full time rather than last game being a reserve from Dragoon. It's good to have you, man. I hope we have a good whole season with you. Big D, force feedback glitch is so bad, so that sounds like it's affecting him at the moment.
Yeah,
So
it was
do you know what that glitch is then, Vice, that he means?
Well, when I used it was just completely off. I feel like it just
Yeah.
felt really different from F1-22. I'm not sure if it's a glitch or it's normal, but it just felt off.
Yeah. So to try and explain it, I mean, even as a pad player, I get force feedback, and it's through the vibrations in the pad. So it's basically oh god, when you turn in a corner or something like that, you get vibrations which let you know you're sort of on the limit and things like that. With the tires,
Yeah.
or when you're putting the accelerator down coming out of a corner. So to trying to explain it in layman's terms, if that suddenly goes off, and you're so used to you become absolutely used to, you're reliant upon it completely.
It's happened a few times to quite a few people. It's just completely switched off. It also happened to me through mid races.
Yeah,
If the force feedback just switches off, I'm
yeah,
just turning in, and then suddenly it just feels super loose.
yeah. So yeah, just to give an idea to people out there, so if that goes off, it's so hard. It's so much harder when that happens. So, but yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know how to explain a real, like, compare it to a real life situation. Maybe you're used to using stabilizers on your bicycle, and then somebody nicks them.
Yeah, but
That would be
it's
really
like
difficult.
if you're turning in, let's say for like a high speed corner, and you're turning in and you're putting a bit of weight on the steering wheel to turn in, and then suddenly the force feedback switches off, you're gonna start if you're steering a tiny bit to the left, you're gonna steer full lock into the wall because suddenly all the forces went off, so you don't have
Yeah,
to push so hard
that's
while
it.
you're
Yeah,
steering.
yeah.
So
So
yeah.
on a pad rather than wheel, I get that information, but I get it through the vibrations that the pad makes. So yeah, it's different, but it's doing the same thing. Anyway, we're into the race. I didn't realise we were
Drew
going in.
saying he would love an interview, so maybe you could get him in for
We
the
would love an
second race.
interview. Okay. Yeah, we'll get him in. Not now because we're on the formation lap now, but yeah, we'll get you in
The
between
second
the
race.
two races, Dragoon.
Yeah.
And have a chat. He says he's Bristolian, so yeah, you may not understand anything we say. Guys,
Yeah.
let's have a look at the
But
tires.
some people starting on soft, some people on hard, some people on mediums. It's a big variety and it's really spread out as well.
So, have you done a
I'd say
35% race?
No, it's got the same tire wear as a 25% race, which means you can easily make it to the end. If you have a tire saving setup, you can easily make it to the end.
Right. Okay.
On a no stop. Of course, you won't be
get
allowed to do
disqualified,
that, but
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but what it does mean is these guys that are starting on the softs can easily switch to hards and go to the end. I don't
yeah,
know about soft medium.
they could do soft mediums. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Which makes the hard starters seem a bit strange.
yeah.
Perhaps they're just so used to doing it on 22 that they thought, well, just do it again. I don't know. Certainly in the last couple of 2 to 3 months of 22, the starting on hards really became the most popular thing to do, didn't it? It was clearly the fastest way of doing it.
And of course now also the cold tires don't have much of an effect phased the hards on the start as well, so we didn't have to come out of the pit lane on cold hard tyres after being on mediums. So,
Right.
yeah, that was
Oh really?
probably
Oh,
enough reason.
I like that. I like that effect. Maybe the effect was a bit over the top, but
Yeah,
yeah. So I liked it though. I thought that was pretty cool.
but they still have it. It's just not as
Not as bad as
yeah, not as strong.
who's that? That's Hyper Igniter going all over the place, trying to get back to his grid slot. Keep the pit wall smack then. Right, so Spreader's the lobby host, so I'm going to go on board with Spreader for the start. And we'll see if he gets any sort of host advantage. The lights are out, and no, seem to all react at the same time.
Yeah, Blonde, a good start compared to Bacon Soda going into turn 1.
So the two move.
Blonde's through, and you have Spreader on the inside of Bram. Bram on the softs, and get the ideal start you would have wanted. And
Got
Yeti and
yellows.
Robber are going side by side. Yellow flags at the back.
Someone's down it. I think
That's
Dragoon's
Dragoon.
ended up down at the back. Yeah, he seems okay though, and I can't see any obvious signs of damage, so I think he's all right.
Yeah, well, quite chaotic at the start, I would say. Quite a few side by sides everywhere.
Yeah,
This is really going to show us how Qatar is. There's people all over the road down to P10 and P. We're all.
there's
Look
loads.
at
Oh
that.
my goodness me, a whole sort of group of
Rams
cars all
already.
side by side there. It's, we've got cautions and Scott
Quite a
is
few people
dropping.
going off the track as well. There's. Yeah,
It's cleared
there's
already. Fatal's
quite
yeah, I
wild.
think Fatal's maybe had it. Oh, Scott saves it just in time. I think he got a little bit of a whack actually from the outside, but at least he saved it before he reached the wall. Did go onto the gravel though, so the tyres might not
So
be
that's
enjoying that.
Dragoon again spinning. Or Dre, that's Dre. And also Bram's got a 3-second time penalty for
He
saving
has,
the track limits
yeah.
too many times.
In one lap,
So-
which is impressive. So
It's quite a chaotic start. Now, after the starts with Qatar, I doubt there's going to be any overtakes par the ones on the main GRS straight, but there is quite a few people close to each other, including Bram on Spreader, and also, I would say, Big Perry down to Hyper Igniter are all really close to each other.
yeah, CL16's close to the back of Pia. I was just calling Pia Nord, I think. So, yeah, Big Perry's not doing too bad. He's one of the guys that started on hards. He's only a couple of seconds off the group ahead of him, so see that advantage could kick in later in the race for him. Oh, we get a caution. That's fatal by the looks of things. Spin.
I think you just gave Big Perry a little bit of a commentator's curse.
Oh, I didn't, did I?
He's got on a 3-second time penalty.
Oh. It's good to know that the commentator's curse hasn't disappeared. Still got that feature on 23. Okay. I feel a little bit like a fish out of water at the moment. I'm not used to the new graphics yet, and I'm missing things, I think. It's Hyper
Well,
Igniter
it's
has just gone up
pre-season,
the
so-
outside of Dean Morby into turn 1 and has made that move quite nicely. Obviously has the tyre
There's a chance. If you go side by side going into turn 1, then there's a chance you'll stay side by side for quite a bit.
yeah.
So yeah, it's got a lot of potential. I'm just not sure it's gonna be
I'm actually
a
wondering
good
if
overtake track.
it may be a slightly strange scenario. So I'm just looking at the layout there on the track map, and I'm just wondering actually if defending the outside of turn 1, I know it sounds strange, but defending the outside might actually be more beneficial, because you're heading round to a left-hand corner next. Well, a double left-hand corner it looks on the track map, and then into a gentle right. So I don't know.
We can see from Blonde. He's coming down to back straight now. We can see from him maybe.
Yeah.
But
No,
I do see what
yeah,
you
Baking
mean
Soda
as
is
Baking
getting a run
Soda's
on
getting
him.
close. We can maybe see
That
from
was a
here, but I think
big
Baking Soda's already
advantage.
through. Yeah, I do see that. It's just a really, really long right-hander for turn 1.
Yeah, it is.
But,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah.
I think there's probably merits to each both ways. I seem to remember in the actual race, actually, people defending the outside. I seem to have something in the back of my mind about Daniel Ricciardo, I think it was. But I don't know, it's too long ago to remember specifics.
I remember stuff about that in Zandvoort when it was a banked corner, so you defend outside because you could carry more speed into the corner. That was our turn 1 and 3, I think.
Yeah.
As
yeah.
oh, that's Hyper
That's a
Igniter.
McLaren, that's Hyper, yeah. Hyper Igniter. Well,
There's also the yellow
decent
flag
start as
now.
well, hadn't he? Hyper Igniter, so. But
Yeah.
guys make their way past, but yeah, he wins the award for the coolest name, I think, though. Hyper Igniter.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No overtake going on, have we?
Greza.
Greza's lost out there, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Lost
No,
quite
he
a few
was at
positions.
the back. I think he had a look. So I think CL16's gotten ahead of Nord or whatever. And then I think Greza was trying to take advantage and go through as well, but he's not gotten through.
That's where we have Pia going past now. I think Pia is a part of his first name, then his number, which is 81, and then Norris with his number, and then F1. Also, that's Atkins out.
Oh, Atkins out.
Oh, that's a big crash. That's with, that's with
yeah,
Big D.
it's Big D. Big D and Atkins.
He's still in
Big
the
D's a
race,
little bit
but he's just
stuck.
kind of squished.
Yeah. And that is then a safety car, an FIA safety car, in fact.
Oh, that looks nicer.
It does look nicer.
But yeah, I mean, if we have red flags on reduced, I would say that does make sense.
Let's have a quick look.
I'm just interested to. I would like to see a red flag in one of these races and see why it would come out.
Yeah. I mean, in the situation we've just seen there, I don't think in real life that would cause a red flag. So I'm glad to see. Oh, what's it doing here? Don't want to see that. Yeah, so I'm glad to see it didn't. I forgot to. Okay,
As a lot of people peeling into the pit lane, it's going to be a busy one. Bacon Soda, Blonde, Spreader, Bram, Robbo, CL, Gia, Greza. Big Perry's staying out, so he's going to be able to lead the race for a bit, which will be nice. Clem's coming in, Dystopian, Davies, Morby. Big D's going to have to change his front wing, so he's 100% coming in. Clem Speets has sped into the pit lane. As Dragoon is staying out, Dre is going to stay out as well, and we have Scott coming into the pit lane, and Hyper Igniter and Fatal Health already boxed. So I think only 3 drivers not pit there, and I think the reason for that is because it's a 35% race, you're easily going to make it to the end on a set of hards. Some people even thinking that they can make it to the end on a set of mediums like Bram, Pia, Greza, and Morby.
So that's quite interesting. So yeah, the likes of Bram, as you say, and a couple of others, they've gone to mediums instead of hards. So they need to have a good start to this stint and try and make up some places. Presumably, in the last sort of 4 or 5 laps or something like that, the hards will come into their own. But, yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why anybody stayed out. As you said, the tyre wear is... Oh, no.
Big Perry spun under safety car.
Big Harry Perry.
That's unfortunate.
What are you doing?
He might as well box now.
Yeah, well, yeah, he definitely may as well box now.
Onto mediums.
But as you say, yeah, so if the tyre wear is the same as 25% on a 35%, then... Oh, hang on, it doesn't make sense. Did you mean that? Did you mean 25? It's the same as 25%, or did you mean it's the same as 50%?
I meant that the tire wear was the same. Oh no. Yeah, the tire wear was the same as the 50% then, yeah.
Right. So yeah, so they can
Yeah.
go a lot long. Well, yeah. So they'll get to the end easy. Yeah. Yeah. So if the safety car's out, why on earth would anybody not pit? I don't. Yeah.
It was the people on hards who didn't pit, I think.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if a safety car is out, they need to pit to mediums in a way, because it's better to do that than stay out and have to pit in normal race conditions later on and just drop to the back.
Well,
So
yeah, they might not know that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not
Yeah, I guess that's
100%
true.
sure on tire wear as well. It's just pre-season. They might as well experiment
Well,
on all of this.
that is very true. That is very true. That's exactly what pre-season's for. Actually, I've just noticed Dre has stayed out on the mediums, so
Yeah, he could be hoping for a safety car and then onto the softs at the end.
Yeah, maybe. Hi, Wallace, Papa Wallace. Did I enjoy the? Of course, I enjoyed the picture. Yeah, we won't go into too much detail. Don't worry, guys. He sent it to me in general chat in a Discord. It wasn't anything too bad about it. But that was a big leaf. All I can say. Vice has got absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, by the way. So.
I'm thinking of something. I'm just not sure if I should.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. You know what? I'll pretend I never heard that.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. This is where I would usually be sending people to an advert on my streams now. I know I could do that, but well, not now because the safety car's about to come in. I'd have done it earlier in the safety car, after everybody made their stops. But never mind, I forgot. So, Dre and Dragoon are the two that have stayed out on the tyres they started on. Everybody else has pitted, but Fatal's on softs, so presumably he'll need to pit again.
Yeah. I've also realised you've changed your profile picture, so it's not that white icon anymore.
Who, me?
Yeah, looks nice.
That's Pussycat.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody made that for me. Somebody from PRF1 made that for me.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Anyway,
much
let's
to
get
them.
back to the racing.
Yes, we are back.
Some blood going
underway.
around the
Oh,
outside
bit
of
of contact
Soda.
between
Oh,
blondes.
Soda's got damage.
Sorry, bud.
He's lost his front right end plate and he's lost a bunch of positions now. I think down the
Yeah.
back straight, while we were speaking about that, he was weaving quite a bit. He might have been cut off a bit. It's more side-by-side action going on. Spreader staying ahead of Bram at the moment and Robert right on the back of him.
Yeah, so not the ideal restart for Bacon Soda whatsoever. And he's gonna... Yeah, he's dropping places now. He's just lost out to Robbo. He's gonna need to pit. I don't think there's any staying out with that.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. I mean, I think he got caught out on the restart a bit, and yeah. But another thing I would like to mention is, the stability's been really good considering it's pretty much launch day for the standard edition. At the moment, it's been quite good.
Oh, Alpine round. Alpine.
Dragoon.
Oh,
and that's someone else. That's
as well.
Greza. He's not having a good pre-season. He's really not been on the pace, I don't think. Or he's retired into pit lane in quali, I guess, but he's not really made up places. He's also got Big Perry right on the back of him now.
Yeah. I'm going to the inside. Here we go. Oh, he's going to hit the Alpine and making a move. It's way too late on the brakes. Even Dragoon ends up off slightly. rejoins in front of Ferrari.
As Dre's also having issues, he's behind Scott, Deanne Morby now, and Bacon Soda. He's staying out with the damage, but he's losing positions left, right, and centre. He's barged Pia a bit off the track. By the way, he's getting a full-time seat in Lauda for next season, as Bram is all over the back of Spreader as well.
Let's go up to that. So they are super close. And Blonde is just... Oh, my word, it gets really side by side there, Bram. Not really the place to be side by side, to be all honest with you. Wait for the DRS, Bram. Yes, Bram wants to get past because he wants to get after Blonde. That's the thing. He makes the move quite nicely there on the outside. Spreader leaves in the room, but is Spreader going to get the DRS back, though, surely?
He will, but that's not a good exit out of that corner, and he's a bit flustered, and now he's got Robbo closer behind him than he does Bram, and of course, the safety car. We don't have any DRS at the moment.
Oh, he's still winning the first 2 laps, of course, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it should be active this lap, shouldn't it? But we didn't get it at the end of last lap, as Dre is into the pits, which he had to do in a way, so...
Oh, Bacon Soda off the track again. He should not be staying out. He must be praying for a safety car right now. He's to ninth.
That's the only... With everybody so close together, I suppose that's what he's thinking at the moment, is we could have a safety car which could potentially save his race. He's having a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, I would say the cars have been able to follow really closely at this track, so that's a good plus.
Yeah, it is, actually. So yeah, it does look like it could lend some really good racing here. As, Robbo has Aaron coming alongside him, and Aaron makes the move up the inside and makes it stick as well. So that's Aaron, or we think's Aaron, up into P4. If it ain't Aaron, it's an imposter.
That's gonna be pretty. But Morby looking for a move on Bacon Soda. He's really going to be struggling now, as he's ran wide, and that's Morby through, and that's a spin for one of Alpha Tauri. That's Big Perry.
Oh, look at this! Aaron has lost 2 places. He's got past Robbo.
Losing his front wing.
Oh dear, Grez is having a mare.
Grez has lost his front wing. Big Perry just spun around, and I don't know what happened to Aaron.
Aaron's out.
What?
Crashed over there. That's the safety car. Yeah. Wow. Okay. A lot happened in. Right. So basically, with Aaron, he got the overtake done on Robbo, but then, like what I thought we were going to see with Spread, they reached the DRS zone, and Aaron suddenly didn't have DRS, so he became vulnerable again. So through went Robbo and Pia Nord. That's what I've got to call him. And yeah, so he gained the 1 place off of Robbo, but then lost 2 places. Like the old Paula Abdul song. Please don't say who. Please don't say who. Nice. Paula Abdul, alright. She did a song called 1 Step Forward, 2 Steps Back. Alright, yeah. I think that was about... It was either very, very late 80s or early 90s, I don't know. Anyway... Showing my age. Anybody put in? We have. We've got Spreaders in, Robbo's in. They don't fancy staying on hard tyres for the rest of the race.
Davey's also in, and Big D, and of course Bacon Soda. That's exactly what he needed to save his race. And it's going to be interesting here. Do they go mediums or do they go softs? When the safety car restarts, we're going to have around 8 laps.
Well, surely it's softs, isn't it? If we're on 50% wear, softs would do 8 laps at any track, pretty much. Bar maybe something like Baku or something, but with the fact that two laps are likely to be under safety car, we should be fine.
I've just seen a new glitch, and the Alpine got serviced by the Mercedes crew, so... the pit lane's always been glitchy in spectator mode, for some reason.
Yeah. Hyper Igniter joined, I think it just said, so I didn't even know he left. But
well, he's out,
so... One of the ones out, yeah. He's obviously going back and ready for the next one, I suppose. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's a little bit of a Lewis Hamilton moment. He's driven into the wrong garage, but they just thought, well, okay, we're here anyway, so we may as well do it.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Oh yeah, I loved that clip when I saw it.
that's hilarious. Right, I am going to do my little thing and send people to an advert. Send you for 90 seconds, guys, because that should mean that you won't get another advert.
I feel you've been getting more adverts lately.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I thought the idea was that I send them to an advert now, which I am doing right now, so that then they won't get one for longer, like, because I'm... But oh, I don't know. Perhaps that's not what's happening then. Perhaps I'm just giving them more adverts by sending them to them when I thought it was doing
Oh, I
them a
just got
favour.
an advert now for...
Yeah, you will do it.
It's
Yeah,
a
I've just sent you to an
30-second
advert.
advert,
It's supposed to be 90
not a
seconds.
90-second.
Oh. But it does 30 seconds intervals, so maybe you'll get another 2 after. I don't know.
Might do.
See what happens. Right then. Who's doing what? Well, Blonde stayed out on his hard tyres at the front, and he's got 2 guys behind him on the same age but medium tyres. That's the 2 Alfa Romeos in 2 and 3. But they also have penalties, so Dystopian is in a pretty good place right now. This is something because I've not done any races yet. I'm not too sure what the tyre wear is like, so I don't know how many laps it takes for the hards to sort of get on a level pegging sort of thing with the mediums. This Dystopian hits the back of Pia Nord, and I'm pretty sure he lost an end plate. Somewhat come off the car.
Oh, he has.
Yeah,
he
he's
has.
lost his left end plate. Oh, that's annoying.
Oh, and Morby just overtook him for a second. Don't know what happened there.
Right. Yeah, so we're going to see... He's going to have to go into the pits Dystopian, but unfortunately for him, the race is going to resume this lap. There's the confirmation. So now he's in that sort of situation. Well, the same situation that Bacon Soda was. Does he come in or not? Yeah, he's got to. We saw with Bacon Soda that he completely lost any pace he had. And this time the difference being, of course, there's hardly any laps left where a safety car can come out. So if it's going to come out, it's going to come out quick. So for me, you may as well just pit. Yeah, he's getting to
He is.
go.
It's an interesting pit lane as well.
It is a little bit, isn't it? It starts around the corner. I don't know why that's so surprising. It starts around the corner. It's not the only pit lane that does that, but
Yeah.
it does seem a bit different. So, Dystopian did quite well there.
Look at that in the back! Oh no, that's a big crash at the back. They were going 4 wide and they just all squeezed each other out. And that's a few cars off. Fatal, Dre, and Greza's also been caught up in the ice, lost his front left end plate. And I also think Dragoon was involved in that in some way, but he has managed to stay out of the incident. But yeah, that's a big one there. As well,
Wow.
look at the battles,
Okay.
and oh, spreader down the inside of all of them, and he's hit Morby, and that's 4-5 wide. What is this?
Oh
and they all
my
went off track.
Goodness!
What's going on? And that's the
this is
Ferrari.
insane.
That spreader's now gone off.
Yeah, I can't see any damage.
As all
He seems
that's
to be
Bacon
okay.
Soda
His
being pushed wide.
Dragoon's off as well. It wasn't just happening. We had a massive group of cars close together near the front, and then we had it again further
was
down.
insane.
It was happening in midfield
Yeah.
as well. As did you just see that penalty? Clem has got a drive-through penalty for gaining 3 places, cutting a corner.
That was crazy. As there's still battles going on, Scott round the outside of a Mercedes now going side by side with Spreader, and you have more battles up and down the field. As that's contact between Scott and Robbo.
Right,
now
the wrong person.
Robbo's lost a bit of his front wing, I think, or there was some debris flying off one of their cars. As Grez is out in the pit lane.
Cars in the pitch, yeah.
As yeah, that is Robbo with damage. It's all kicking off.
It is.
Yeah, I think it's just really wild on the starts, because it's such a wide track, as you said earlier on. And yeah, it's a really wide track, and that's why we're seeing people going 4 wide and then trying to push each other out, squeeze each other. And then that's how we saw on the back straight a crash. That's how we saw a crash further down the field. And then we saw another one of those crashes. Up at the field. Those were on the first lap 3 different 4, 5 wide moments where they've just completely not given each other space going into the corner. But it's not like there was any space going into the corner.
That's it.
And look how many people have penalties as well.
It's suddenly jumped up, hasn't it? There was hardly any not so long ago.
Yeah.
And there's another one for Bacon Soda. There's Big D and Bram are battling away. Big D up to P3 now, penalty free as well. Having a very nice race, considering because he was in the incident with Atkins earlier on when Atkins retired and got stuck, didn't he?
As now we can test your theory about the outside, but yeah, Bram just had that inside line and he kind of pushed him off, ran him out of road.
Yeah,
that's allowed Davies to go through as well.
It has, or Big D probably had to back out when getting squeezed, and so yeah. I mean that would probably be looked at, because that's you can't be just sort of pushing people off like that. You've got to you must always leave the room. Or whatever it was.
I think it's space, but
yeah, that's right. You must always leave a space. All the time
you have to leave a space.
That's it.
There we go. As there's also on this track, I've realised these really annoying, like in Imola they have these bit orange curbs. It's like a little straight of curb. Which, if you're going 4 wide like that, that could really disrupt the car.
Yeah, definitely.
Going into a corner.
Oh, these 4 are so tight. Bacon. So. See, I don't race like this. This isn't my sort of racing. I'm far too sensible to be a sim racer, to be quite honest with you.
But yeah,
slow and steady wins the race. Look at this. They're going 4 wide again. This 3 wide. We are into turn 1.
That is 4 wide again. The track's just too wide. And it's making it really fun, that's for sure. But
yeah,
it's just absolutely wild. You can't commentate on all of this.
Well, if this was a league race, I think there'd be some toys getting thrown out the pram, to be quite honest with you. But hopefully, because it's pre-season, people might be a bit nicer about it, and a new game. But
everyone's had penalties except for Blonde, Big D, Davies, and Robbo.
Yeah. But we know that Big D was involved in an incident, and we know that Blonde was involved in an incident. So, I'm not saying they were at fault, but they were definitely involved in incidents. So they could potentially, in a league race, get penalties. Robbo's down at the back. When did that happen? He pitted. Okay, so he must have picked up damage at some point and had to pit. Don't need to say anything, to be quite honest with you. Just keep your eye on these 4 guys, because
just sit back and enjoy.
One in real life might not be as entertaining these days as it used to be. But Clem is out. That's on track,
That's
but we're on lap 18, so it shouldn't cause a safety car or anything.
second to last corner. We could maybe catch. No, we can't catch it.
Yeah, cleared that quite quickly, actually, didn't it? That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to clarify for people, so yeah, because the lead drivers had already made it onto lap 18, we couldn't get a safety car. If they were still on lap 17, then we could have. At least that's what it's been in previous games, I assume it's the same.
But I feel like we should have a feature where it just ends under safety car in like it, cause yeah, it makes more sense like that. But at the same time, it is a shorter distance race.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't think it'd be. I think because they don't really end races under safety car anymore in real life because they bring out a red flag instead and stop the race so that
I don't think they should do that.
Do you not? You think if it's a safety car incident, then a safety car should be used, and if that ends the race, then that ends the race.
Well, it's like you'd say maybe a different version of Abu Dhabi 2021 for just kind of manipulating the way they're using.
Creating excitement. But
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Got to remember now.
I mean, you could also say the whole reg changes were to make excitement with allowing cars to closely follow each other, but that's more okay. But like, it's just, especially Australia 2023. I mean, the two Alpines, they worked so hard for that position, and it all just got undone because the FIA wanted entertainment.
Yes.
For the viewers. As Morby also has a front wing damage and Spreader's just gotten past.
He has, yeah. I think you're right, and I think, let's be honest, as Blom picks up a penalty, but he's so far in front, it doesn't matter anyway. It's about money as well, isn't it? Let's be honest. You know, doing it the way they're doing, or started doing and did it then, and for the Lewis Hamilton, the Max 1 as well at Abu Dhabi, it's these moments get Formula 1 into the papers, onto the front pages, you know, and it gets it talked about, and all that, as we know these days with social media and everything, that makes money. So, you know, why these guys need any more money, I don't know, but...
Well, yeah, as Big D is the only person to not have a penalty in this race, but it's also another thing, it's just... I mean, I'm a Max fan as well, and I could still definitely say that what happened in Abu Dhabi was incorrect. It's just...
So even despite being a Max fan, you could understand at least why the Hamilton fans would be angry about what happened.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I was in that position, I would never get over it. I would have nightmares of it every night.
Definitely. Got a lovely battle taking us to the end of this race, by the way. Big D and Bacon Soda. Bacon Soda's got a penalty in a way, so ultimately it's not going to matter, but they are keeping us entertained. Although I suppose...
I want to see exactly how much penalties everyone has. So
yeah,
we've got Bram on 15, Morby on 15, Big Perry on 12, Spreader on 9. Bacon Soda, Spreader, and Bram are not people to be getting that many penalties. But
no. Sorry, just to say, Bronze crossed the line to win the race, and Pia Nord P2, Big D P3, Davis 4. So Davis moves up to 4 ahead of Bacon Soda. Brown in 6, Spreader 7 then after the penalties. 12 seconds for Big Harry Perry. Presumably going to drop him down. Yeah, so Dragoon jumps up to 8th. Fatal jumps up to 9th. There you are, Fatal. It wasn't particularly clean, but it's a top 10 for you in your first F1 23 race, buddy. Well done. That's what happens when you keep your penalties down, see. Dystopian in P10. Big Harry Perry in 11, Dean Morby said 12. I got an achievement.
Same, eagle eye. You
Eagle eye.
spectated an online race.
We did. We spectated. What an achievement it was for us to just sit back and watch that race.
Yeah. uh, but yeah, Grez is saying it's been chaotic out here. Yeah, I don't know. Is it a new Baku? I don't know. Of course, it's pre-season, so it might change. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a weird one.
Clem interested. Yeah, I mean, Clem, that is that is not fair. I mean, that's going to have to be addressed for the actual in season because people. So what Clem's basically saying is he was just avoiding cars. There was incidents going on. He's avoided
Yeah,
cars. In
yeah.
doing so, he gained 3 places, and it's given him a drive-through penalty for it. Whereas it
Yeah.
should be saying to give those places back and giving him some time to do that. Unless it did, I don't know. But
Yeah, that's another reason why maybe we should have stewards, but also at the same time it's going to be so hard to keep up with a race like that. But then also you should be able to have replays live on the race.
yeah,
It's yeah, if that's a feature that I'm definitely I would love to see in the F1 game.
yeah.
But yeah,
It sounds like a great idea, but I think that's a long, long way off. Oh, is that another glitch? The instance tab is empty.
ooh. I think it's maybe there was just too many.
Our page isn't big enough, so we'll just put none.
Yeah.
Um. Okay, so yeah, no, Clem's mentioned it didn't say a thing about giving places back, so it just literally came up with a drive-through for corner cutting. Well, yeah, it was free. The actual thing that came up, Clem, was that you gain 3 places by corner cutting. But yeah, that needs to be looked at. Big D, the stream was great. The stream was absolutely brilliant. It's not a hitch all the way through at all. Certainly on my side. What about you, Vice? Any issues your
No,
side?
it was really smoothly. I think maybe someone saying on the stream that it sounded like on the stream my microphone didn't sound good if anyone wants to confirm that or anything, but the actual s- um stream itself was really nice. I did like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, yeah, and as you said, Grez is saying it's a bit chaotic here. It definitely was. New track, new track pre-season, new game, Greza. But yeah, as well as Rice has said as well, it's the width of the track. I think it's so
Yeah.
wide because, as you said, it's designed for MotoGP. So for bikes, not for F1 cars that have got so much grip is unreal. So yeah, it's just a bit wide for Formula One, and it just invites people to race 3 or 4 people wide. Um, yeah, hopefully as people get a little bit more used to it, um,
Yeah. Well,
it'll give us
that
some
that
better races than that.
yeah. It kind of reminds me of F1 esports. It's just because everyone's so close together. Qualifying's always a pleasure to watch, but then the race, it's really boring because we're all just trailing each other, and the only real time something happens is when someone flicks on the ERS down the back straight.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then, yeah, maybe with a wider circuit that could change, but at the same time, they break at the exact same point and they go on the throttle at the exact same point because they just all know exactly how to maximize the best out of the game.
that's right. And yeah, I can't really add to that. I think you're exactly right. And I mean, who do we say we're going to get in for an interview? I'm mad.
A
I can't find
Dragoon.
them.
Dragoon. It was Dragoon, I think.
Yeah, I just can't find him. Has he left the lobby?
I don't see him here. I mean, I don't know what I would have asked him, to be honest.
I don't know. He
Yeah,
wanted
he's
an
left the
interview,
lobby.
so just you know, Perhaps he didn't realise we're doing 2 races. Or perhaps he could only do 1, I don't know. I can't find him on my friends list anyway, so I think he might have gone offline. Oh well. Never mind. But, should we get someone in? Who could we get in? Just to fill a bit of time. Well, I do need to make...
Blonde saying he's going to change accounts and rejoin. You can see he's now got, I think that's his last name. Or no, Blonde Miniman. If your last name was Miniman, that would be a bit unfortunate.
It would. Should we get Greza in quickly? Let's get Greza in quickly. Go on, Greza. Come and join us just for a minute. He's in another party, so we might not bother.
Well, it was a 3-minute break for the first one, so I'm not sure what it's going to be now. Oh, there he is.
Hello there.
Hello, Greza. All right.
Hello, how are we doing?
Yeah, all good. That looked fun. It looked chaotic and nutty and infuriating, possibly. But
you can tell it's a pre-season race. Everyone's getting used to the new game. There's a few contact, and I think it's going to happen until we get used to it. And the fact there's a new track as well. It was a bit mad, but it was quite fun as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were saying, because we think that part of it is not, obviously most of it is the fact it's a new game, new track, new handling system, but we also think partly because the track's so wide, it can allow 3 to 4 drivers going side by side into a corner, but it's so hard for people not to hit each other doing that.
And it seems to tighten up as well, so you can't have incidents,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it was pretty manic from where I was. I think I killed Dragoon, so apologies to Dragoon. I just followed him too close. It was my
Is that why he's
mistake.
left? Have you upset him? Is he that he's left? So
No, he didn't see the 300 messages we put saying don't leave the lobby as another race. So he's on his way back, I think.
Oh, cool. Okay. What about the actual lap then, Greza? Because I know with Qatar, people like the track, but a lot of the things I'm seeing is that it won't be very good for overtaking. Everything we've just seen there would suggest otherwise. Do you think? I think it could end up being a really great race added to the calendar.
Oh, I don't know. There's a couple of slow corners, but the DRS is powerful. So I think it's going to be, everyone learned it, they're going to be patiently waiting for DRS. I think that is the best chance. Anything else is very risky. I mean, if you're at the inside of one of them fast corners and you're not quite got your nose there, you're going to get turned around by someone, I think. So it's going to reward patience if you're overtaking and taking the right move, I think. And if you do a half-hearted attempt, you're going to get spun, probably. And it'll probably be a racing incident, to be honest.
That's it, yeah. I think you're right. I think turn 1 is always, I think it's definitely going to be the best opportunity and the safest opportunity. And from what I saw there, I don't claim to know the track just from one race, but from what I saw there, that any other place on the track, it's going to be at your own risk, sort of thing. If you make a move,
you definitely need the other driver to be able to play a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He needs to know what he's doing. Trust him, maybe, but
You're certainly right about the power of DRS. We saw there was a moment there where I've forgotten which driver it was actually. One driver got past another in a way, just before the final corner, and lost the DRS. So they come around the final corner. He's up a position, having gained that just before the final corner. By the end of the main straight, he's down 2 because that's how powerful the DRS was. That not only the car he overtook got past him, but so did the car behind as well.
Yeah, it may be battery as well. I think if you're sensible, obviously, but
if apart from that straight, do you think if everything calmed down and we got settled into the race without any safety cars and all that, Do you think that apart from turn one after the DRS, was there any other real overtaking opportunity place around the track? Because of course there's a lot of high-speed corners where you don't have to brake as much, or you just have to lift out the throttle, so it'd be quite hard to overtake.
Yeah, I mean, your only chances, there's a couple of slow lefts, a slow left and a slow right.
Yeah.
But there isn't much of a chance to run at them. You're going to have to rely on a mistake there, but you could possibly go in that slow corner. But I wouldn't be going in them fast ones, definitely.
Yeah. Do,
It
do
will
you
just
like the track?
compromise you as well, because if you're going side by side, you're going to have to go a couple of gears down to leave you enough room.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
both going to lose about 2 seconds a lap doing that, you know?
Mhm.
You might as well just wait, I think.
Yeah. Well,
I think hopefully a bit more normality now with Silverstone. Everyone knows the track. Hopefully a little less chaos, but then again, it's a reverse grid. So let's see. Pre-season, it's all for fun, you know.
yeah.
It's it all for fun, and people just getting used to it basically. So, you know, and of course the
Indeed.
divisions are mixed up a bit as well. So a lot of people haven't driven together before as well. So yeah, so
All right, I'll have to leave you and see if Spread needs anything because I don't know why he's not ready, you know.
no worries. All right, mate.
But
Thanks
have
for,
fun. Message me later if you want me to come back. I'll be fine. Don't worry.
yeah, thanks for jumping in anyway.
No problem. Enjoy it.
Good luck for Silverstone.
Thank you.
Ta.
Sorry, excuse me.
People asking when is a car announcements. It's planned at the moment. That's going to be on the Friday race. So, next week, the preseason race next week. That's going to be the last preseason race. We should have me and Hilly, and then Greza's going to be using his PC to spin a wheel, and then
They're
whatever
going to be
number
doing
it
it before
lands
the
on.
race so that people can actually use their cars.
Well, you're only gonna use your cars for the actual main season.
Right.
I'm not. I think, yeah, it's not exactly all confirmed yet, though. It might be its own special stream even, and announcing everything else which is going on. It's really nice for us two to get that inside information from the admin chat, but um.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a
Okay.
few things which will
So
get announced.
next week, in a way, next Friday, we shall do that. Which cars do you want? Which car would you choose, Vice? If you could literally choose, what would you choose?
I don't want one. I don't want a Ferrari, Haas, or Alfa Romeo because I think their engine sound is just really annoying and loud.
Okay.
I would say, um, a Mercedes, Alpine, the Aston one. It was quite weird on F122, the camera. I'm not really sure now about this season, but I would say I would like a McLaren or a Red Bull.
Okay. Well, McLaren's my favourite team, so
Yeah, same,
there you
yeah.
are. We could be teammates then. We'll just be teammates.
Brilliant.
Excellent. We just need 18 other people to race with us now. We can have our own
I just
division,
need to
and we'll get
I
two
need
people.
to fix my skill issue as well.
You're fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry. We'll get 18 slow people. You'll be fine.
Thank you, yeah.
There we go, and we'll get Greza and Spreader to commentate it. So
Yeah, it's a different universe where we're driving and they're commentating.
yeah, it's like sort of that'd be like the multiverse.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's one of the different worlds, one of the different Earths in the multiverse.
And we're
Actually,
going to
can
be
you
racing
imagine
at
those
Brands
two
Hatch.
commentating together? I mean, it'd be all fine, and then all of a sudden they'll end up in an argument about something, wouldn't they? It's just they'll never get to the end of the race without arguing, and then Spreader will probably throw his toys at the pram and leave the chat, and Grizz will be left on his own, and then towards a little bit later on, Spreader will come back, so I might have overreacted there, sort of thing, in his Brummy accent. Oh, he's gonna hate me saying that. He don't like it being called Brummy. Yeah. So.
But and also we'll be racing around Brands Hatch and not Silverstone.
Yeah. Oh. Have you ever raced it? Have you ever done a lap there?
No, but I've seen quite a few laps there, so
Right. Yeah. It
yeah.
was in F1. Ooh, I want to say 2019. I think.
Yeah, it
Might have
was.
been 20, but I think it was 2019. Yeah, I think it was.
Oh,
Oh,
no
here we go. Oh,
formation
no
lap.
formation lap. Okay, we've got no idea who's where.
Atkins is
oh,
P1.
yeah.
Oh, someone's
What's
crashed
happened
on
at the
the
back?
start. That's Big D. How's he done that?
I have no idea.
Clem's in third. Hyper-Igniter's lost a few places, and we have an Alfa Romeo going
We've
down
got
the
Hyper
inside.
Igniter way too late on the brakes. It's the cars in front, but I don't think any damage has been caused. He's just hit Atkins again.
Wow. This is just so close. Everyone just... Look at that! Down that back straight. We're so bunched up.
They are.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, someone's hit the wall. I think that was an Alpine. That's Dre. Someone hit the wall.
Oh,
On
and in the middle as well, that's a
that's
Merc.
Robbo. That's Robbo. There's a Red Bull lost his wing. That's Blonde. Or no, that's Morby.
Oh, goodness
As
gracious me.
as Aaron's leading for race, Clem's second.
Scott,
Atkins is down to fourth. How's he lost all of those positions? I have no idea. As Spreader's lost a position to Big Perry.
Scott left the session, so just invited him back.
Okay. That was still pretty eventful as Big Perry's spun? Or someone's losing places
Somebody,
on the grid, I'm not
work it
sure.
out. Who is it? It's Atkins.
Oh,
I think.
that's Pia
Scott's
Nor
joined back. Pia Nord is out. Oh, and so is Bram. What is going on?
Spreader having a good run on Big Perry, Atkins having a good run on Dystopian. We're going 2x2. Atkins span around. On the inside of the final corner, completely misjudged the traction, and Hyper-Igniter's past Clem. I just can't keep up
the
with
inside
all
of
this
turn
at all.
one. It's too much going on now. Bacon
Bacon
Soda's on
Soda's
the
in the
outside
fight
of
as
Clem.
well.
We'll have the inside of the next corner. It's like getting on the power on the exit there. Traction's low normally there, and Clem holds him off. You might even get a little run at Hyper-Igniter, maybe. No, not quite.
As I think everyone's learned from Qatar and nobody's on the hards except for Big D, who is just boxed now, and I'm assuming he's taking those till the end.
Yeah, although we're down to a 25% race line, so it would be a soft medium, I guess.
Okay.
Or medium soft. We
As
could be
Ullman
side by side
battling.
into cops between Bacon Soda and Clem. Clem runs wide. He's going to get blocked off by the other McLaren as he, and that will allow Bacon Soda through. I don't think that's deliberate. I don't think they're actually working together.
There's no point, to be fair.
No. Bacon Soda surely is going to get a run on the other McLaren. Seems to have a better straight line speed.
Oh, Clem trying to get into it. He gets blocked off on the inside, though.
Oh, Dre's out as well. I didn't see that one. Oh, Clem's dropping. He's round.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, Clemmy. No, not in. So it's just going to carry on. CL16 is loving life. He's out of front, 2.5 seconds up, setting fastest lap.
Yeah, but Bacon Soda's going to catch up to him really quickly. And I forgot to do one of my wild predictions like last time. I'm going to predict this race, but I'm going to predict... And I'm hoping Davies finishes the race. I'm going to predict Davies is going to have 13% ERS when he crosses the line. Something's telling me he's not going to use it that much.
You say 13, 1-3 or 30?
13.
13.
1-3.
Okay.
Yeah, teen. Oh, I'm 13, so...
Aren't you 14? You had your birthday the other day.
Oh! No, I'm 13.
So you were 12 before?
I was, yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I thought you were already 13 and you were going into 14.
I might have said I was turning 13, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. Reza, I love that. Anyway, Hyper Igniter. Staying with Bacon Soda. Bacon Soda got past him, but can't get away from him now. In fact, Hyper Igniter sets fastest lap of the race. Any other?
Yeah, he's not doing that bad.
No, yeah, he's staying with him pretty nicely, and they are gaining on CL16, but not by, you know, it's not as if they're absolutely flying onto the back of him. But they are.
And he's also on for mediums.
Oh yeah, CL16's on the mediums, isn't he? So, ooh, I don't know. Would that work
that's
well for him? That means he'd be on the softs later on in the race, but there's going to be a little gap in between the pit stops, and the undercut here can be huge, to be quite honest. As Dragoon, no.
In the pit lane, I think.
Oh, he's in the pit lane, okay.
Yeah. Also, undercuts on this game are way more exaggerated as well. An undercut is way more powerful than last game. The car doesn't feel that bad on old tires, but you can just see the drop off in pace really dramatically.
Yeah, it's also because the there was a move going on there. That's Davis getting ahead of Blonde Miniman.
And Dystopian trying to get ahead of Hyper Igniter. We're going to go side by side through the final couple of corners. Oh, and
and there's
Igniter
Grezza getting involved as
pinch.
well. Grezza's going to go between both of them.
He's going to go. Wow. They're going to make contact. As Dystopian's going to try and get into it, but he tries to hang it around the outside, goes onto the grass and hits.
Hit.
No, the Hyper Igniter was rejoining the track and hit him. Oh, that was... From what I saw, Hyper Igniter and Dystopian were going side by side through the final corner. Dystopian got pinched a bit on the inside, so he backed out. Grezza got through in the middle of both of them. Then Hyper Igniter went off the track when Grezza was overtaking him. And then Dystopian, he tried to hang it around the outside, but just went completely onto the grass, rejoined the track just to see Hyper Igniter rejoin right in front of him. So, that was wild.
Just to go back, as I said about who'd want what team and that, just say we did have a couple of answers. Axel says he wants a Mercedes, and Dean Morby says he wants an Aston because Fernando Alonso is his hero. Fair enough, we will do well. I don't know who's actually, if Grezza's drawing it or whatever, but whoever it is will do their best for you guys. Oh, Bacon Soda speeds into the pit lane.
Along with Spreader and Grezza. They've had enough of those softs quite quickly.
Yeah, and so 5 laps. So it'd be 5 and 8. Yeah, I guess that's about right, actually, isn't it? It is quite hard on soft tyres around here. Or it was on 22 in a way.
Yeah, but how have they done 5 laps on the softs when this race has gone on for 6?
It's not. We're on the 6th lap now. We've only done 5.
Oh, okay then. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Wake up, Vice. We're going round in circles here with Hyper Igniter. As he spins.
Big Soda's now going to catch up to the back of him.
Yeah, and go past him as well. I saw a middle finger out there at some point. Contact earlier on, but Hyper Igniter's back going, so they're now, unbelievably, they're now right next to each other on track again.
Oh, Dragoon saying he had no force feedback, everything I could.
Right.
Yeah, it's...
I know... Yeah, so presumably you turned off and on again. Yeah, I know somebody in another server said earlier on they turn it off and on, it works, but...
Yeah, that's what I did, that's what I do as well.
CL16's in from the medium tyres. From the lead.
No, that's... If he goes... well, he's seen the softs, how well they've survived. I was about to say if he goes on to hards, but... It's better to go on the softs.
Yeah, he's gone to softs, but
But the thing is, he's still going to get undercut by all the people behind him, but he's not going to have that much of an advantage at the end, is he?
No, those softs are going to drop off. That's 7 laps they've got to do, and we've seen quite clearly 5's enough.
Yeah,
So,
and Bacon
yeah,
Soda's undercut him. And now, after 4 laps, his tyres are going to die. He should have stayed out for longer, and yeah, he would have been undercutting way more, but at least he would have had way better pace.
Yeah. Well, Fatal Defiance is up into P2. On Fatal.
Dragoon saying he turned it off and on 8 times and reset, came back with a loose wheel. Well then, yeah, I don't know what could have happened.
No,
with
unfortunately,
that.
I'm not your man for that sort of thing, Dragoon. I have actually got a steering wheel and pedals. I just don't use them yet.
Oh,
I am getting a rig. I'm
So-
in the middle of getting it. It's just where it's all going to be put and that. We're doing some DIY.
so you're gonna
So
use a steering wheel then?
I will eventually. Yeah, at some point on this game, I
Interesting.
will look to start using that. Just
By the way, Fatal's in second.
yeah, I just said that a second ago. Don't you listen to me?
Oh,
Just picked up 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane as well. Right, where is CL16? So Baker. Oh right, okay, yeah. So that's what you said then. So Baker Soda actually got an undercut on him.
yeah.
So that shows how big the undercut was. Jeez,
Yeah. It's quite big on this game, but
it is.
yeah. And Big Perry also crashed somewhere in between that. I'm not sure if that was in the pit lane, but I don't think it was because he crashed when Fatal was coming into the pit lane.
Yeah. So as it all comes out, then Baking Soda is leading. CL16 is P2, and is in trouble in my opinion because I just don't understand why he's gone to soft tyres so early.
Yeah.
Reza in P3, Spreader in 4, Davis 5. Right on the back of Spreader here, by the way.
Spreader's not looked really comfortable in the car, I must say.
Not in the races, he hasn't, has he? It's yeah, looks okay in qualifying, but then the races.
Yeah.
Davis looks to me like he's well. I mean, what we don't there has been some contacts all over, so whether he's got any side pod damage or something like that, Spreader, I don't know, but certainly there's nothing wrong on the front wing or anything like that. Here he goes then, Davis, and it's going to be done before we reach the braking zone.
Oh, he's gonna try and hang
Does.
around the outside though.
Yeah, is he still there? Oh, he is. He's ahead actually, Spreader. So
He is, but
Bit of
Davies
defence.
with the inside line, no. He can't do it. That was great defence from Spreader.
that was. He looked for all the world like he was going to have that done easy. Davis with the DRS. So.
Oh, he's
yeah.
gonna maybe send it up the inside. No, he won't. And now that's Blonde getting round the outside of him, getting pinched on the inside.
Didn't even know he
And
was
Blonde
there.
through that was a beautiful slam dunk overtake there. He drove like Davies wasn't even there. Yeah, that was good. Of course, he is on the softs as well. And everyone ahead of him has penalties. He doesn't, but the gaps
He's-
are too big to be honest.
Potentially they are, yeah. For the race win, you would think so in a way. But, mind you, it is blonde.
He's-
I wouldn't rule it out. It's
Oh, a cops moment side by side.
oh,
Spreader knows how to do it. On the inside.
surely he's close enough. He's going to get a chance back here. Although blonde gets away there slightly. He's on the energy. But yeah, no, he's too far back.
Oh, no,
he
he
has a
might.
look. Blonde leaves the room, but he never actually gets side by side. But all about it. We're a bit further down, Dystopian getting past Fatal Defiance.
It's really hard for me to tell now with the new traction. I feel like Spreader's running full traction control at some points, but I'm sure he's not. It's just how it's changed.
He does, yeah, he does use traction no spreader. So I think he uses medium.
Huh. I
And
never knew
Grezza.
you could be so fast. I never knew you could be so fast using medium and ABS.
Yeah, yeah, it's, well, particularly on 22. On 22, I think, especially in the rain, using traction was a massive advantage. But not as
Yeah.
much, not so much in the dry, but yeah.
Well, that's a bit unfair then.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I do hope part of this game is that they have got that right, so that the assists, there needs to be an advantage as the leaders are battling, Bacon and Soda and CL16. But yeah, there needs to be an incentive to actually work to getting your assist turned off, and that incentive obviously you should be gaining lap time by doing it.
Yeah.
If when you go the other way round, that's no good. Actually, I must admit, it irritated me the other night because I had a race on 22 on Wednesday. I've still got a few races to do yet on 22, and it was a wet race at Canada, and I just had no pace. I was in a Ferrari realistic, but because the guys ahead of me were using traction and I wasn't, literally the fastest lap was 1.2 seconds faster than me, and he was in an Alpha Tauri.
Ouch.
And I was just like, yeah, he is a faster driver than me, but he's not 1.2 seconds ahead of me on equal cars, let alone when I've got a car advantage over him. So it's just, it's a bit insane, to be honest.
But yeah.
Some people are actually taking advantage in the sense that they are usually a no traction driver, but they know it's quicker to use traction in the rain, so they do. And on the other way around, I wouldn't do that. So that to me is cheating. So here's an overtake for the lead. CL16 up the inside with the DRS.
Switch back from Soda.
Come back, yeah.
Oh.
I think he's still. I think it's a good job that
He's got
CL16 wasn't there. He overshot that a bit, did Bacon Soda, but
yeah, he really threw the car around. But they've got the same time penalties as well, so this is all.
It's a genuine battle.
Soda a bit wide.
Got to fair play to CL16. At the moment, we were completely wrong about the soft tyres. They're clearly working right now.
Oh, Bacon Soda gets the DRS. That's really gonna hurt. The detection for this straight is quite far back.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, in fact, it's before turn 3. It's at turn 3, isn't it? So it's as you're breaking into turn 3. So yeah, it's what 1, 2. Yeah, it's 3 corners before the actual DR. Where you actually open the wing.
Yeah. As I have seen most drivers lift through cops, so even though you can go flat, maybe it's not the fastest way of doing it.
Probably not in a race. That would be more a qualifying thing, I should imagine. But no, that would put a lot of strain on tyres in the race.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 25%, so it doesn't really matter, the strain.
And for us also, it's only 2 laps to go. They don't have a lot of fuel in the car.
Yeah. So, yeah, Bacon Soda had another little twitchy moment.
Oh, Scott's out.
Oh, yeah, we've lost Dean and Scott. Far too late for... Well, didn't you say actually you can't have safety cars, I think.
With
absolutely
the glitch,
no idea where they are.
Also, Spreader, it's not really felt like a chaotic race, but he's got an 11-second time penalty as Blonde gets past Grezza, but on penalties Grezza would beat him anyway. Blonde would beat him anyway.
Yeah. So, looks like they're going to go right to the end. So I was getting a bit confused. I think Big D's a lap down, actually. So, he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Complete contrast to the first race then for him.
Oh, CL's got
He's just
around
picked up.
10% more ERS.
He's
Oh,
just
no.
picked up 3
Oh.
seconds. He ran
I
wide
was
in
about to
cops.
say. He's got so much more ERS. And look how close he is. He would have 100%
He's definitely going to have
won
a chance.
this race.
So they could say
Yeah, he would
that.
have won this race if it wasn't for that. Once again, quite a few penalties in this race and quite a few DNFs as well. Even though, of course, no safety cars.
Big Soda hits him.
Well, I don't think that would have changed the result anyway.
Well, ultimately, the penalties aren't going to make a difference, are they? You know, so it's not going to change the result. But yeah, should have let him cross the line first, really. But it does change the fact that CL has now dropped the third, so he does lose a place there, CL. There's no doubt at all. If that was a league race, Bacon Soda would be getting penalised, and Blonde would be winning this race.
You know, I remember you said how the gaps were really big. Blonde was only one without a penalty, but the gaps were really big, so I wasn't sure you would take advantage of anyone's penalties. But just as you said, it is Blonde.
Yeah.
And look what he's managed to do.
Stupid quick. It's the thing is he's stupid quick, but it's not just all quali pace quick. He's so consistent in the race. Consistently fast lap time after fast lap time, and yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah. I just got the British flag on the podium. I've not seen that emote. I want it.
What, a British flag?
Yeah. Also, you know on the podium, see now he shook his hand. He shakes it for so long, it's quite awkward. For the trophy, I don't like their new animations.
Right, okay. Isn't it the first time they've actually changed the podium celebration, like, for years? I swear it's been the same for years, and they've actually finally made a bit of a change, and they've added an awkward handshake. Fantastic. Blonde sets fastest lap 27.8, but there's our results. Shout out to Fatal tonight, 2 top 10 finishes, including a P7 in this one. Well done, Fatal, and long may it continue. As I said, I think I might be right in saying that Fatal only got the game today, in which case he's done very, very well.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Let's have a look at this race director. No, the instants are empty again.
That might be a glitch for the new game then.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's not a major issue, but there is occasions where the stewards might want to use the incidents. Have a look at them, especially for a penalty removal.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want it for the actual instance as well. But yeah. Yeah, Dragoon said Qatar wasn't a track to start with. Yeah, but then Silverstone didn't exactly go much better. Dragoon, so yeah, I think everybody's still very much getting used to it. But it was quite fun. I quite enjoyed it. It was a bit of a laugh. Shall we get Spreader and Grezza in then as the sort of bosses? Oh, and Clem. Why do I always forget Clem? Sorry, Clem. I didn't mean to. Let's get him in. So, hang on, that's Davis. Why have I just invited Davis? Davis, I didn't mean to invite you. You could join. Everybody could join if they want. Don't care. Obviously, when the league starts, we'll be doing the Podium Boys. But where's he gone? Oh, he's disappeared. I was going to get Clem as well, but he's disappeared. Oh, it's a great race. Hello. Thanks for joining. Make sure you've included your audio for us.
Hello.
Hello. We just wanted to bring you in. Oh, Davis is joining as well because I accidentally invited Davis.
So you just send this last minute.
It's alright, stay in area.
Davis, include your audio, buddy.
I have done.
Excellent. I actually did accidentally invite you. I didn't mean to, but it's absolutely fine. You are.
Alright, okay, I'll go.
No, it's fine. You're an admin, as is Robbo, so I'm going to get Robbo in as well.
And Clem.
Oh, and Clem's joined. Excellent.
Get the boys in.
Just getting everybody.
Big
Just
race
invite
car
everyone.
now, bloody hell.
Right. Question 1: Is CL16 Aaron?
No, it's not Aaron
Axel.
Watt. It's Axel. Axel 15.
Oh, Hilly, you're gonna look so stupid now.
Okay, now if Gingy were that fast, I'd be doing some sweating to catch up to him if that were Ginger. Couldn't be letting
Ginger
him have
sweats
that.
all the time.
Yeah, I bet he's cooked in the seat.
Wow. Right, guys, we just wanted to get you in quickly, just to have a quick chat. Talk to us about the league. Talk to us about tonight, the new track. So I don't want to dwell too much on incidents and stuff like that, but talk to us about the new track. Talk to us, about the new game. But as I say, as well, the league. So we will start with Spreader, because I like to put you on the spot. So start with you.
Oh, okay.
Thumbs up for Qatar.
Do you know what? I was on the fence with Qatar. I was close to pulling it out of the calendar because it just seemed like one of those races where there's one line through everywhere. But after seeing the race tonight and the racing it actually produced, it's a good track because you lose so much time going for a move with somebody that drags somebody else right back with you. You can't seem to really get away. One little mistake costs you many, many tenths if you're not on the rails. A bit like Canada without the walls, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I've changed my mind, and I think it's a good track. I always liked the track. I just didn't think it produced good racing, which clearly I'm mistaken. Well,
Awesome.
the game's good. The game's good. Its handling model's brilliant. The graphics are outstanding.
Don't feel it's
The
too
work they're
easy.
doing with the tracks. Is what?
The handling model. Don't feel it's too easy.
No, not really.
I thought the last game was too hard.
Yeah, I think this one a sweet spot with handling model on the car because when you turn, it turns. They've also got it right with the downforce, and the traction. You can run downforce now, and that actually helps you in corners this game. So that's a plus side. But there's a couple of little things in there: wheels disconnecting. When you leave the practice lobby, it retires your car automatically. Little things like that that just want sorting out, but.
Yeah.
On the all, it seems all right. Safety car seems all right with reduced. I think that's the way to go because it seems plenty enough without it being on standard.
When it came out tonight, it came out for things that it should have come out for. People had crashed.
Yes.
It wasn't coming out just because somebody had lost a front wing. It was because somebody had actually crashed out, and in real life, a safety car would have come out. So, yeah, that's good.
So thumbs up from me.
Awesome. Excellent. Looking forward to the league starting.
Definitely, if we can get some battling like we've just had there in Silverstone going on in the league.
Tell you something, Spread is keen as mustard to get going this year. I've never seen him so active in that admin chat. He's like, when are we doing teams? When are we doing these roles? I'm like, for fuck's sake, just calm down a minute.
I know that it's a horrible thing because the racing that you've just seen then between me, Davis, Clem, Dystopian, Blonde coming through us as well. If it produces racing like that, the game's as good to go for me. But you do have to be patient with the wheel glitches and things like that. They're not going to be sorted overnight. We are going to give it a couple of weeks, unfortunately. But we can get things organised, get the calendar out and stuff for Friday division. We can get all that sorted. And then we can get Tuesday sorted as well, because we'll get that one sorted, get the calendar out for that. And we can if we have to do a couple extra races pre-season, it's all right because from next Friday they'll all have the teams and the cars and they can get used to the car that they're in and the teammates and things. So,
right. Quick question on next Friday for teams and everything. Will we be doing that before the race or after?
I reckon
before, because I think it's going over.
Yeah, I think we should do it before.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely before, because then, like I said, we all know what car we're going into. We can familiar ourselves with the car, because each one sounds a bit different and looks a bit different. So...
Yeah, okay. Grezza, there was a nice little moment there in little overtaking moment when you come round onto the pit straight. The two ahead of you were fighting there in Silverstone. And you just nipped between the pair of them. It all ended in tears in the end, unfortunately, but your actual move
to be honest,
your actual move was really good and worked. But yeah, it was a nice little moment caught on stream, I have to say. Overtaking a day.
I think I ran Hyper a bit off track on the exit of turn
Yes,
one
you
by
did.
accident,
Yeah.
but I just couldn't slow down enough. But I did follow using the party. I apologise to him. I was going to let him through, and then the Dystopian cleaned him out, so I couldn't.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we
yeah,
think
it was.
we weren't too sure what happened, but we think he was coming back onto track after you barged him off. And yeah, so and then yeah, they had contact, but
Dirty
but
driving.
your actual overtake, the way you nipped in between them was very quick thinking and very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
It was like a through goes Hamilton moment.
Through goes.
Was a little bit, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't big his ego even more than it is.
Other than that, Greza, are you pleased with the new game?
A lot of the things that I wanted are quite good on it. Yeah. My biggest thing is what Spread said earlier about downforce didn't do anything on the last game, so everyone ran low downforce and the cars felt like shit. I actually trialed it in a time trial somewhere. I was like a second down when I put the wings really low, which is a really good thing because downforce now actually does something,
Yeah.
and that's a really good addition. Traction as well is miles better. I'm running no traction now, and I'm having barely any issues spinning or anything. I've gone to no traction and just think I'll get used to it. So we'll see how that goes. But right now, it's really, really easy. I feel.
Yeah.
And I can continue it.
Well, as you know, I was a no traction player in a way, and I have to say it feels to me like I'm running full traction, even though I'm not.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's yeah. So it feels so strange being able to floor it in third gear. It's just if you did that on 22,
Yeah, I'm
you'd be
almost
spinning
waiting for it to
around.
kick out, and it doesn't. And I'm like, I can go more than that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So yeah, cool. Excellent. Clem, what's your thoughts? I know you weren't overly happy with Qatar, but
Yeah, that was more down to track limits and incidents and FIA bullshit, really. But the actual racing part of it was good. Silverstone obviously improved. There was a bit less incidents, I think I could hear in the party. But other than that, like there was actually, Silverstone's an overtaking circuit, so you're always going to get battles there regardless.
yeah, there was
But,
plenty of incidents
definitely-
by Silverstone, but yeah, not as many, I suppose. But then yeah, there was about 200 at Qatar though, so it wasn't that-
Yeah, too many at Qatar, but new track, not many it fails that they've never driven it before tonight, so
yeah,
takes people a bit of time to get adjusted to it.
definitely. On that penalty, actually, I think it does need highlighting for the other admins as well. That was a bit awkward. So basically, there was a lot going on that restart, and there were spins happening. So Clem's avoided the other drivers that spun by going off track, and when he goes off track, he overtakes 3 other drivers, so he's got 3 illegal overtakes. But instead of telling him to give the positions back, it just gave him a drive-through immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And it said a drive through for corner cutting.
Yeah. The actual thing that when it come up, it said drive-through took 3 cars corner cutting or something like that. You'd have to watch the stream to see the exact thing, but yeah, it gave a drive-through for that, which obviously in a league race is going to be massive, and they're definitely going to want something removed for it. So something to think about.
Maybe
if
it's
they don't
something that'll
fix
get
it.
patched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Davis, going to you. Your thoughts? Did you enjoy tonight's races?
Yeah, I think everyone's pretty much said. Well, I think the game, the traction's so much better. The downforce that you can put on the car now, it improves the game. The force feedback stuff needs adjusting, it needs fixing. But yeah, I think it's going to help the pad players as well that we've got in the league because they've sorted the pad control so you can race a bit closer to the lads on wheel. So I think all in all, it's going to be a good season. I think once people get used to the game, it's going to be closer than it ever has been, I think.
Yeah. Well, they've apparently already decided all this, and they are saying that it is a lot closer between wheel and pad, but that wheel still clearly has an advantage. I'm just getting that in because obviously as a pad player, I want to make sure everybody knows that the wheel's got an
Oh, you don't.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, sort of looking forward to the new season. What car is going to be your dream car in the draw next week?
I think Robbo wants to make, so
Ferrari.
I think. Oh,
The
what?
Alpine sounds like shit. I think it's that earlier. I don't want that.
Greta, I was
The
asking
Williams was
Davis.
nice.
You've had
Yeah.
Greta, you've had your 5 minutes of fame, all right.
Oh, sorry. I
asking
thought you were
Davis.
asking me. Off. I couldn't be phoned, and then I heard.
No,
Go on, Davis.
Robbo wants to make, so yeah, I'm not really that fussed, to be honest with you.
Right, and are you guys teammates?
Yeah, me and Robbo, I think it's
Then
been
you need to
confirmed,
back
hasn't it?
your teammate and say, "I want the Merc. I will do
I
anything
want
to get
the
that
Merc.
Merc."
And
That's
no
it.
side-podded Merc.
No,
You're getting the fucking
That's it.
Red Bull.
and
I'll have a Red Bull.
I will do
Smash
anything
your
for
ass
it,
with
and then you can negotiate with whoever's done the draw, which I think is Greza actually. So there we go. I don't know. Is it Greza doing the draw? Greza,
Me
you
and
can
Vice
speak
will be
now.
doing it. Yeah, I think it's next
Oh.
Friday. We've agreed.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
What do you mean you and Vice? Friday's my night.
Oh,
I'm
you
streaming
can join if you
Friday.
want.
Yeah, come
Voice
in,
isn't here to take part, he's here to take over.
Innit? It's happening already. I can feel it happening. As soon as he got into that admin chat and he was coming up with all these ideas, I thought, oh my god, I'm being pushed out here. I'm just, I am
Bought the rights to
out with,
PRF1, you know.
out with the
No,
old, in
you're
with the new.
irreplaceable
you
here,
know.
you know that.
Yeah.
Irreplaceable.
Where do you want your statue, Henry?
Oh, yeah. I think I do deserve one, to be fair. Right, Robbo. You are there, aren't you, Robbo?
No, Robbo's not here.
No.
He's not there.
No.
Why is he not there? I invited him. What a punk.
He's watching Gaga.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Vice, anything you want to ask any of them? Well, we've got
Well, one was with force feedback or steering issues. Did anyone have the issue where the force feedback just switched off randomly throughout the race?
I did it on Tuesday, not today though.
It did it to
Yeah,
me last
okay.
night and I lost it in Quali.
Yeah, because it's happened to me a few times, and I was just wondering if that was maybe an issue with my wheel. But yeah,
No,
apart
it's
from
the
that-
wheel, yeah.
Every
Oh yeah,
wheel,
no. I
every
could tell
wheel.
you from other discords it's happening all over the place, Vice.
yeah. Okay.
So, definitely not your wheel.
How was
Well-
the stream? How was F123 on the stream? Did it work?
It
Perfectly.
looked way nicer on
Does that
the
tyre
thing.
thing come up?
No,
No.
it doesn't. That's just the
I think that's an
professional
added
use
thing.
with a lot
I
of
do
money
know-
and all that.
I do know an app though that you can use on laptop, which is it's a bit of a pain for me at the moment, but could get there eventually. But it's so that the commentator can see everybody's tyre wear. They can see everybody's lap times that they're putting in lap after lap to see if they're sort of setting similar times, and they can see if they've got any damage at all as well. So there is
And the
there is an
amount of
app that they
damage as
use
well.
in where I race on Saturday nights. That's they use that, which is pretty cool. So we can actually see if you got like side pod damage or something like that instead of just being able to look if you've lost the end plate. So yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll be able to show it up on the screen. You would just have that information on your own.
No. That's right. No, you can't show on the screen. You've got the information though, so you can talk about it. So, yeah. Which it's ideal when you've got two of you. So, like, because I could stream, and do what I do, like on a Friday night, and Vice could have the app open on his laptop, and be able to use that information. So, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It just requires the drivers they just need to do a slight couple of settings changes to allow telemetry and stuff like that. It's nothing too major.
Sure that's something we could. Yeah, I'm sure that's something we can sort.
Yeah. So it'd certainly be ideal for the Friday nights when there's the two of us. And obviously, Vice, I don't know what your internet's like, but if you could use your laptop and stream, then you can you'd be able to use it on Tuesdays as well. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we'll look at that then. I'll find. I've already asked before, but I'll find out what the name of it is again and look into it properly. Because that'd be quite cool. Anyway, I've got people literally still watching the stream, hanging about, and in a way, proper answer to your question, Greza, it was great. It's gone as smooth as it possibly could. It looks crisp, and the graphics are just so much better.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the only disappointing thing is it is exactly the same. It's not all the options, and that there are no different options. The cameras were a lot better though. The broadcast camera and that. So
Yeah.
just definitely a lot better. So yeah, that's cool.
That's good to hear.
Anyway, anything anybody else wants to say or do, or
Get the update out fast. I want to get this season going.
yeah. Codes, if you're listening, as you often do to me, or I'll use one of my contacts and I'll get them to do the update quickly. All right.
Yeah, we want to go racing.
Yeah. All right, then, guys. Well, look, thank you very much for coming and joining. Vice, thanks for jumping in. I know you weren't 100% sure you were going to be able to make it, but yeah, when you knew you could, thanks for shouting and jumping in. Don't get used to blooming streaming practice every week, because I ain't that into it. All right. But it was a bit of a change tonight. Thanks to everybody that's watched along with me in a way, or with us in a way, and thanks to everybody that watches it back. It's 3 hours of our life we'll never get back, but it's always a pleasure, of course. Good night, God bless. See you all again next week for more pre-season fun and the driver draw on the Friday. And Vice, you will be doing something on the Tuesday, I believe.
Should do.
There's another pre-season event this Tuesday, isn't there?
Yeah. So Vice, what's your Twitch?
Vice Racing F1.
Excellent. There you go. Nobody ever forget
A
that.
bit more enthusiasm.
He's 13 years old. He's tired. He was supposed to be in bed an hour and a half ago.
Oh, I know.
Right, guys. Thank you ever so much. Good night. God bless you all soon.